everyone, welcome to Ascension. I believe this is episode 27. Can you believe it? We're almost in the
That's a lot of episodes. Yeah.
It's like a semester of college. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's more than a semester of college. It's like 100 hours. Yeah, that's a year of college.
Oh, if
we're
you're
straight
doing
days.
like
We could have just got we could have got this done in half a week if we just did it continuously.
we were just
There we
saying
go.
how...
Season 2. We just do 1 week without sleeping.
Oh my gosh.
True.
Can you imagine?
Gonna
I don't
play the
think I
game
could go
on
that
hard
long.
mode.
I'd
I'm
be
not
like,
young anymore.
I would start thinking there are little blue creatures flying around.
Yeah, no, I found that I hallucinate after, I think it was 3 days of no sleep. That was when I was younger. Now I will probably just die.
Did you do that just for fun? Like, what was...
That was at university. I was doing loads of projects and helping out people with projects. And then I just saw the code everywhere I looked. It felt like the Matrix, but boring.
but more brain trauma-y.
Yeah, basically, yes. Anyway, hi, welcome to Roll For Effect. YouTubers and streamers get together to play some lovely tabletop RPGs. Of course, today we are playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th Edition, our long-running Ascension campaign. So, hello everyone. We're of course again joined by Katie, who is joining us for this and next session before we go on to our small Christmas break. Right, we have a few announcements and then our shilling, and then we'll get right into it. Firstly, today's supporter is Mia Zilla, who I believe has already done some lovely fan art for Vanya. So thank you very much, Mia Zilla.
Thank
for
you,
supporting the
Mia,
episode.
and it
Awesome.
looks so good. Oh, I love it. We need to update our fan art reel. That's something for next year for sure. We have so many amazing pieces of art we haven't updated. So
We also have out on Patreon our November recap video and Star Wars character sheets if you want to go check those out. Also, holiday surprise. If you are a Patreon, please go to our Patreon and do the holiday surprise thing. It's a surprise, so I can't tell you more about it, but there's a post and you can go there and you can do a thing and then there'll be a surprise. Also, coming soon, Ascension guest sheets. We're going to put out some more of the Ascension guest sheets and so on. If you want to see people's stats, you may do so. So look out for that. Other than that, I believe that's our announcements for the week, right?
I think so.
Okay. So I think the other one to add is that we will going on Christmas break in a couple of weeks. So there will be like a few week break and then we'll be picking up again in the beginning of January. So, you know, we tend to find that people are away and busy for some reason in mid to late December. So we don't have shows around then. So there'll be about 2-3 week break.
yes,
We will have
December 21st through January 4th.
There you go.
Hanukkah starts.
No shows.
Hanukkah starts today. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Um,
For some reason, it's on my calendar for the 22nd.
That's when it finishes. It's 12 days long.
Oh, okay. Why does it tell me when it ends? Why wouldn't it tell me when it begins? Weird.
Like finish strong. Well, because I guess they didn't want like 12 days of Hanukkah on there. You know what? Now you've caused me to question. Let me double check my. I'm pretty sure it starts tonight. Yeah, it starts
It
today.
definitely starts
Yeah,
today.
yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
starts
No,
today.
I think
Right.
you guys are
Today-
definitely right. It's
Today
weird.
through the 18th.
Yep. That's it for announcements then. So, Bentham, do you want to talk about Chillin?
All right, yeah. Toss a shilling to your streamers, and you can do so via Patreon. There's a whole bunch of different tiers there that give you a whole bunch of different rewards, and doing so on there allows us to do the things. It allows us to pay cast and get artists to do cool things for us, and all that sort of thing. You can get MP3s of all of our shows. You can get after shows. We record after every show. We talk about what happens in the show, or go off on random tangents that are or aren't related to what we've just done. You can also get character sheets, both of players and of enemies and ally NPCs, all that kind of thing. You can get behind the scenes GM secrets and session plans and maps and all that kind of thing. Speaking of, we still need to actually put the world map of Ascension on the Patreon. We gotta get that done. We gotta get it finished.
I wanted to polish it and stuff. I think that was going to be the idea for like the beginning of chapter 2 when you actually move region, is to be like, okay, here's the world map.
Yeah. I did give people a little bit of a sneak peek in the Ascension chat of Discord. I was like, I'll just give you this little snapshot of like where we are and where we're gonna be, and keep everything else hidden. I mean, you've seen it on the overlay before. We've used it in the map view. Yeah, it needs a little bit of polishing to be finished, and also for like the location names to be like printed on it instead of you have to mouse over, because that doesn't work if I'm in an image. Can't do that.
Yeah.
Or can I?
He has like
Anyway.
this really cool stuff set up. Really neat. For
Also,
the players,
yeah, we need to
we
go
can
through
see
like
it.
the E's process for designing the world, because he started working out actual like tectonic plates and weather patterns and all that kind of thing.
That's
Yeah.
why the mountains are where they are. There's tectonic plates, and that's why certain mountains do certain. Anyway, I can also tell you what volcanism is now. That's useful, I'm sure.
We're gonna include that when we give people the map. But yeah, so that'll be a thing at some point.
Value
Also-
logic and go into Ponfar on occasion.
Also, you can give us NPC names that will get used randomly throughout our campaigns. You can watch the monthly recaps where the admins talk about the events of the previous month. Was that a thing? Oh yeah, I did mention that in the announcements. But yeah, we did our most recent one just this week. And if you're crazy, you can also support at the Legend or Deity tier, where you get to be in a once monthly game GM'd by a member of the Roll for It cast. We got 2 GMs this month. It's Maggie and Dot. Dot's running the Aliens RPG, and Maggie is running her Santa RPG. So very, very different tones for this one. You know, there's something for everybody.
Like complete opposites.
Hey, Doctor Who proved that a Santa story can still be terrifying. So you know.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you can do Santa theme, or you can do like Xmas, X for Xenomorph or something. I don't know. It was
The Santa RPG is going to work a little bit differently
Tighten
than it
somehow.
will for like the live cast, because there's secrets.
I'm intrigued to hear how it goes. And yeah, I think they're avoiding spoilers, those who don't know. So there'll be cool surprises for them too. I want to hear how they interact with the things. Yeah, so those will be a thing. We'll hear about those later in the month. But there's other places you can support us too. You can support us on Twitch. You can drop us some bits. They'll appear in the cup, and you can try and fill that or empty that with lots of little bits, or one big bit, or however you want to do that. It's always fun to mess with that. You can also give us tips. They'll appear on the screen. We'll read them out at the end of the show to thank you for being awesome and supporting the episode. And you can, of course, become a Twitch subscriber. I'm like, is that the right word for this platform? I never know. You can do that, which gives you emotes and badges and immediate access to the VODs. Normally it takes 24 hours for us to put them up on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, you can become a YouTube member, which gives you emotes and badges over there. And being a YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, or Patreon supporter will give you access to our Discord, where we can hang out with other fans of the show and us and talk about all the things. There's a whole bunch of different rooms in there for all the shows and other random stuff as well. And general rooms and gaming rooms and all that kind of thing. We love to see what people are up to in there, and we love to hear from you using Discord or any of the other places, be it Twitter or Facebook or commenting or chatting or all that kind of thing. We super appreciate all of everyone's efforts, particularly on YouTube recently, to up the engagement numbers on the videos by commenting, which is always awesome to see, especially the fun things people come up with to spice up their algorithm pleasing comments. So
Eat
yeah,
the
keep those coming.
algorithm.
Yeah, keep those coming. Love to see it. Yeah, even if you can't support us in a financial way, of course, you know, there's all that kind of thing. Just like engaging with us according to the metrics of the algorithms is super important and helpful. And yeah, just being here and bringing people along as well, like anyone else that you think might be interested. Tell about the show, and they might you might find that they love it, and then you can nerd out with them about the things that happen in the shows, which is always cool. Yeah, that's all the things. So let's get on with it.
Okay. So, last time, you started having a long trek away from Oleona, your hometown in the Dead Cities, to go and head towards Neardearth, a very large city in the former Kingdom of Neardearth, which is now in the Lumarian Empire. It was going to be a pretty long trek, like we're talking several months, because this is a pretty fair way. It's equivalent of walking from, I want to say, like, New York to Chicago, or maybe probably about that far, actually. Yeah, that's about right. So you're going a fair way.
To Chicago walking would be like...
Months.
That's like 16 hours driving. So
We
walking
have a
would be
cards.
a
Yeah.
long time.
Is it that cold, or is that just the distance,
And
or
don't
is it
ask
like
me
a
why I know
similar?
exactly how many hours it is.
Well, you're starting off about late spring. It's starting off late spring, so it's not as cold as it was, and as you're getting south, it will warm up. But with that said, you have a cart with you. You've got a load of artifacts and so on that you managed to procure in one of your recent travels on the cart.
And do we get a mule
you also
or a
have
horse?
I believe you got a
draft horse.
Draft horse. So it was a horse. So it's capable of pulling the cart without too much issue whatsoever. With that said, you made about 5 days of progress before one night you were beset upon by what appeared to be 3 very tiny, very fast blue creatures of some kind who immediately targeted Arena to try and steal her bag of holding. They were almost successful. In a very bizarre and rapid fight, you tried to fight them off, and one of them quickly nipped in, paralyzed her, grabbed the bag, legged it, and only because of a very, very skillfully placed javelin that literally just managed to hit the right HP exactly, did the little blue guy get knocked out. You managed to then grab the bag back as Perrin runs up, and we're gonna begin there with the 4 of you awake. Pietro climbing back into Mecha Pietro. Perrin basically almost like rugby style, try on the floor, hand on the bag. The little blue creature, javelin down the back of its clothing, unconscious against the javelin in the ground, the embers of the fire going out. Rain beginning to pitter down.
I had grabbed it and squeezed a little bit of Goodberry in its mouth, but I have it in my hand.
Yeah, Arena's probably like, wait, don't kill it.
Yeah. Technically, I'm still raging too, so I'm like...
Okay.
I think you get advantages.
I get advantage on the grapple.
Checks, right? Or something?
The grapple, and I think it applies to intimidation too. I'll double check, but definitely on the grapple. That was the important part.
Yeah.
I stand up and I quickly chuck the bag of holding in the deepest folds of my cloaks or whatever that I possibly can, and keep a hand on it, and turn to Arena and be like, "Are you all right?"
I think so. She rubs her neck. She's like, "You see anything?" She has probably a little stab where the needle was or whatever.
Yeah,
you see what appears to be 3 inch long metal needle, which is a tiny little hilt, almost like someone has repurposed a needle and with a little bit of effort managed to make it into what appears to be a tiny sword. There's literally 2 of them, one in one side of the neck, the other one just below her ear on the other side.
I'll carefully pull them out.
Yeah, I'd crouch down next to them, and I would start checking her over to see if she has any other wounds.
Oh, you already know because you're wearing the ring. I'm at 18 HP.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
If you want to make a medicine check as well, you can kind of determine what the nature of her wounds are.
I would love to do that.
Sure. 23.
Dang.
With a 23, that's really good. Very quickly, you can ascertain that these didn't really do much damage whatsoever. We're talking, they just penetrated the skin. Yes, they probably went quite deep, but they are literally just like needles. So, although, yes, they did do HP damage, it wasn't very much at all. The main damage seems to have been from some sort of poison that quickly took over her system and rendered her paralyzed and unconscious on the ground until she woke back up. It seems to be kind of a very powerful sedative that with a 23 you are familiar with because it is often used by people who tend to live on the edge of society or on the Underdark, particularly drow, which in this universe are fairly uncommon. Night elves are much more common than drow.
Someone said something about acupuncture fae, and I was thinking about
yes.
a little an army of fays doing acupuncture on somebody. It'd be so cute.
I mean, in a manner of speaking, we're all doing acupuncture all the time.
This is the
Sorry.
pressure point that kills you, as are all the others.
So, would I know that she is still poisoned? Or she's okay now?
I believe you have the poisoned condition for 1 minute. So by the time you finish this check, she'll be feeling better.
Yeah, I passed my check.
Yeah, you passed the first check, you failed the second check, and the second check you failed by enough that you ended up unconscious for until someone did damage to you, I think, or
Someone
took their
smacked
action
me.
to wake you up. Yeah, they took their action to wake you up. Yeah.
Yeah, I slapped the poison out of her, apparently.
Healing hand. Lay on hands.
Yeah, and then I'm as groggly as I am, I like kind of look around. I'm like, my bag.
I have it. It's all right.
Meanwhile, you hear from the direction where Gatton has the tiny blue creature and is slowly feeding the berry in a...
Stop fighting, and I will not harm you much.
I love that. I look at Perrin as I like peek over and see what Gatton's doing, and I'm like, it was trying to get to my bag, and I don't know why, but I think that it knows about the thing.
The reason why it would be so focused on getting the bag. I have 700 gold on me.
Why were you
carrying
attempting?
so much gold on you?
I really should, like, I mean, we haven't come across a bank yet, you know? But
Yes.
I hand back over the bag and I'm like, secure this to you as well as you can and hide it.
Yeah, she hugs the bag that she had crafted
I
herself.
make a point of like turning this little thing while she's stashing the bag, so it's not like, oh yes, it's right here, center pocket, you know. Why were you attempting to steal from us?
It's gonna make one last attempt to get away from you as you've woken up. If you can make a
Okay.
grapple check.
Okay.
Athletics, you are still raging for, I would say, the end of this.
Yep.
Plus, you've had a little bit more time to get your grip, so I'll say you've got advantage.
Yep. Point of fact, if this thing gets away, I am gonna attack of opportunity and just kill it. So let me just put that out there.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
sure.
yeah. No
So
witnesses.
is this...
Gatton's like,
Is
who
this thing
sent
speaking
you?
It's speaking in common now.
Okay, in common, yeah.
Where's Rachel? Sorry. Hang on, let me get this.
I love that Mecha Pietro is the one that understands the creatures.
13. I rolled really poorly, so yes, it's just as it's trying to slip out, you put your other hand below and just catch it again, and it kind of just runs between your hands a few times before it just starts panting.
With the
It
other
tries to
hand,
bite you, and you're just like, it doesn't do anything. It's too small.
with the other hand, I summon my primal savagery, so my claws extend and look venomous, and I'm like, I can do this with both hands. Cease struggling.
Make an intimidate check.
Surely that must be with advantage. Like, this little pixie just has brass ones.
For this one, it wouldn't be advantage.
Yep.
Let me make us say a wisdom throw on this.
I was about to say, here's the problem with like this mechanic in D&D, just in general, where it's like, he's not afraid of you. It's like, yeah, but I'm not kidding though, but okay. That's just a D&D thing, but I digress.
He just looks up at you now, and you can see these kind of gold eyes gleam slightly in the firelight as it just stares at you and just doesn't say anything. It does stop struggling though.
And then I just look at the others and I'm like, well, who wants to ask it questions?
I would lower my voice to Arena. What was in the bag that it would want?
Sir, what'd you say?
What was in the bag that it would want?
Oh. Arena looks like she's obviously hiding something when she says this to you, because she's like terrible at deception. She's like, oh, nothing. It is fine. Just wanted the bag. There's a lot of things inside of the bag.
I don't say anything, but it's like one of those, another moment where I go, I will remember this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I look over at Perrin because of what they had just said to each other. And I sit back and I start observing again to see what they'll ask it.
I walk up to Ganon the creature and say, "What were you trying to steal?"
I wouldn't steal your face, it's ugly.
I don't think this one quite understands the gravity of its situation.
They never do.
Your mum's got a lot of gravity.
Do we just give it time to understand that the only way it's getting out of here is by telling us the truth?
I would rather just destroy it and simply track the other two back to their homes and then destroy them as well.
It's easier if we have this one to help us.
I think we already know what it wants, but more so who sent it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to lead into it.
Listen, creature, right now we have no reason to let you live, so give us something or meet your ancestors.
Hey, what's gonna stop you killing me anyway, eh? And all you're like big ones just ignoring us, tiny little folk.
Because if you tell us who sent you, then we won't really care that much about you. We'll care about the one who sent you.
Arena looks around like she's like, I'm also a tiny folk.
Not as tiny as this folk.
No,
but
no,
yes.
not as tiny.
Make a... You can either make an intimidation check, or Perrin can make the persuasion check. Whichever way you want to do it.
I'll let Mr. Charisma try and good cop it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll try the
You
persuasion.
get advantage on it.
Because Gaten will
Versus
legit.
I'll say
will
no because you didn't pass the first check, but...
Gaten will. It has 1 hit point and I can squeeze it to death. I feel contextually that should matter.
Bad roll on the whole, but 14.
If you promise to let me go.
Do
No.
that. I look at you. Oh, okay.
Wait. I like the pointy-eared one. He said he would.
The pointy-eared one isn't the one that has you. But pending what you have to share, maybe.
I got a name. I give you a name. You let me go.
A name and a location.
Sure.
The location,
Location
of where
will
the
not be your face.
person with the name,
Wi-
not
yeah.
just any location.
I don't know
Will
where
the
they are. I
name-
know where they're gonna be.
Yeah, will the name be of the person who sent you to take this bag?
Ah, bollocks. Yeah, okay, fine.
So the name will be the person who sent you to take this bag.
Yeah, smarty pants.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, these guys are tricky. I'm an intelligent
Yep.
creature, so I'm not gonna fall for this crap.
And the location will be the location of this person, either where they are right now or where they were when they gave you the mission.
Or where you were supposed to deliver the bag.
Yeah, that one. Don't know where they are at the moment, but I know where they're gonna be.
That's better than at the moment. All right, who is it?
If you promise to let me go.
Yes, we'll let you go if you tell us who sent you to get the bag and where they will be.
Right. Okay, it was this elf lady. Said her name was Marsha, Marisha, Matter, Matthew,
It was-
something like that.
It was
And-
Masha. It was Masha.
Right, yeah, sure, that one. Yeah. She pay us. She said she pay us quite a bit.
How much are we talking?
I mean, more than I can carry. I said I can't carry very much.
That isn't much.
No.
5, 6 gold pieces.
Wow, I'm not that dumb. I'll take payment in diamonds. Anyway,
Still,
Said
that
she
is
was
a
gonna
very
meet
small
us.
diamond. Meet you where?
gonna meet us in an inn called the Hanged Man down the road. A few days from here.
Was there a meeting time?
few days. No, she's going to meet us in an inn down the road in 2 months. Of course it's not going to be. She said you were coming down the road, we go up the road, we meet you, we grab the bag off the little one, and then we come back down.
You just say off the little one?
Well, yeah, but, you know, you're little compared to her, I guess.
I think it meant grab the bag off the little one, not off the little one. That is the only reason it's still alive.
Oh, yeah, no. No interest in killing you.
I heard that too, Arena.
Yeah, I was like, what?
I was about to be like, oh, cool. You know? Yeah.
Oh no.
One last question. How did Masha find you in the first place?
I know. Word gets around. My little group, you know, we're for hire, we do certain jobs. Occasionally pop to and fro, come to your neck of the woods, then go back to where we came from.
Arena, would you fetch me a bag, please?
Oh, you're gonna give me the bag to take back?
Pulls out
Sweet.
like a little bag.
Look,
I do
if you give me the
actually have a
bag, I'll
bag
split the
that's
profits
empty.
with you 50-50.
I drop another good berry in there so this thing won't starve, and then I drop it in the bag.
Ah, what the...
But we said we were going to let him go.
I will let it go once we know that it's telling us the truth. I didn't say when.
That makes more sense.
I
I'm
look
gonna
at
knot
Aaron
the
like, is
bag
that
and then
okay?
I'm gonna put the bag in my chest compartment where I used to carry Pietro. I guess next to Pew. Yeah.
It's like, it smells of pangolin in here.
Constantly an uncomfortable kicking sensation, and that's me.
It's like I've got a second heartbeat. Yep. And then
Does that work?
yep. And I'm just like, when we get proof that you were telling the truth, you will be freed and unharmed.
Just a lot of kicking back.
Hope
Mhm.
you don't
Does
mind
sound
my.
like, sorry?
Just hope you don't mind my prying, but I don't know why someone would send a creature to gather a bag if there was nothing in it.
There is a number of loot and acquisitions we've made in our adventures. Pieces of art, mystical effects.
in it. I wanted the key necklace in the bag.
Actually, I'm going to say with the telepathic crystal to him, listen, friend, if you want to survive, you need to learn to keep your mouth shut.
Well, now you want me to shut up. A minute ago, you want me to answer all your bloody questions.
Last warning, keep talking and I will walk into the nearest body of water.
What an asshole.
Oh my gosh.
And then out loud again, I just say, we have recovered a number of relics and mystical items, as well as a not insignificant amount of coin. We have met this person before in Vahira. She felt Perrin had something that she wanted. Maybe it's in the bag.
Could I make out what the little Fae was saying?
Make a perception check. It's a really low DC.
Okay, you said deception?
Perception.
Perception, okay. 13.
Easily.
And then you could I mean, Gan kind of lied there.
Yeah, no,
So if you wanted to do an insight, he could do a deception and you could do an insight check.
Yeah, if you want to do that, you can.
yeah, I think I'd like to.
Okay, again,
I can
chuck
see where
a
Katie's
perception.
mind is whirling. I'm sorry, I feel bad that we can't tell you the things.
Oh!
Dang.
No, it's okay.
Well, Gatton has to
23.
roll his deception, right?
Mhm.
I mean, yes, but...
Yeah, I don't know. Gonna beat a 23. 17.
Can't.
Ooh, it was a pretty good deception roll for not having any.
Although it's
pluses.
very hard to judge a construct made of wood, you can tell that there's a slight hesitation before he gets to the explanation that he's coming up with a story. And Arena did make it very plainly obvious that she was deceiving earlier about, oh, this is just the berg, it's nothing else.
Yeah, she's very obviously lying.
You see me like grab my prayer book and clutch it closer to my chest. I'm not here to judge, but I am on this journey with you, and I feel that if it puts me in danger as well as you, I might have a right to know.
Arena looks down when you say that in particular because now had a couple people go into danger because of her. And then she looks up at you and says,
I think it might be more dangerous. They know what it is that they want.
I chose to come on this trek with you to make sure you made passage safely. But how can I do that if I don't know what might come our way?
Be fair, I don't know what will come our way either.
Also, knowing we have valuable items that others wish to steal is enough information to calibrate your response accordingly.
You can see just a flicker of like, almost like a spasm on her face, but she pulls it back very quickly. As you wish.
what?
And I look at them each individually in the eyes.
Now I'm a little freaked out.
Yeah.
Do we
As you
notice?
glance around between everyone's eyes, giving them the stare of like, okay.
Do we notice the little flicker? For sure.
I feel like it's something where it's like a spasm on the face where she's trying to pull back so she doesn't show her true emotion, kind of thing.
Compose herself.
Yeah.
So we'd have to like insight check or something to see if we know. I'd like to try.
Okay. Insight, and I guess you're trying to hide your true feelings, so deception.
Yeah, feeling a small amount of betrayal.
Evan.
And
Oh no. Oh, betrayal.
Let's see what the deception roll is.
Bad
Oh.
insight.
so as a cleric too, like I want to maintain.
Yeah, you manage to
Poise.
maintain your composure and you hide the true frustration and annoyance at this, and Irina unfortunately misses it, and she's definitely getting this kind of like, I have done something wrong, someone is staring down at me, kind of like how she's told off by her parents when she was younger. She misses the little spasm. And as you look around at everyone in turn, the silence is punctuated by a very small, high-pitched of a tiny blue creature farting in Gavin's chest.
Gross.
I don't need to breathe. Yep. Well then, yeah, I guess we keep moving. I mean, what time? It was the middle of the night, right? Like, I mean,
Middle
is
of
it
the night,
appropriate? Yeah.
probably
We're
go to
going to
sleep.
sleep. Yeah, we need to finish
Yeah. I
sleeping so we can get our rest.
Yeah, Perrin does.
Also, I'm very
as we
hurt.
like get back to as we start getting back to being to resting. Perrin will say, "It is true that certain things we possess have gathered the attention of somewhat powerful people with the means to send people after us. We didn't think it would happen, but it seems it might be something we'll have to deal with on a more continuous basis."
I'll drop 10 points of cure wounds, and I still got a bag
It's
of good
8
berries.
points of cure wounds. Your rage does not add to your healing. If anything, it would be bad for it.
I mean,
Ew,
first of all,
damn
if Darth Vader can engage in Sith healing, I can. Okay, but yes, 8 points on the cure wounds, and I have a bag of good berries too.
Ooh, yay,
So
thank you.
Okay.
mhm.
You replenish the good berries. You meet one out to each member of the party. Do you meet one out to Pietro?
If he needs it. I mean, between foraging and good berries, I can keep everybody hooked up every night. So yeah.
I mean, it's more so that you have one for the next day if you want that panic button thing that we've talked about. So
I cast good berry before I sleep every night. Essentially, is yeah.
So you have effectively 5 party members who would have a good berry, and then you'd have 5 yourself. So
Perfect. Okay.
right. In which case,
I
That's
do
the next
continue
day.
to Cyrus. I say, and they are right. If you were to know the details of what this Masha person seeks, in the long run, it would only cause you more trouble.
Can I get a gauge on if I can trust him?
Persuasion check insight.
Ooh. This is so many like player versus player roles today. I don't think we've had anything like that really.
Nailed it. 17 persuasion against 14 insight.
He seems to be trustworthy, and he seems to be speaking like vaguely fervently, but it's hard to get a grip on exactly how trustworthy he is because he seems just trustworthy. You haven't seen like a flaw in vulnerability or a worry there to make you think, yeah, this is definitely trustworthy. I can tell this is coming from, but it does seem trustworthy.
I will put my trust in you, Perrin, and I will do what I can to make sure you stay safe and trust that I don't need to know what that creature was seeking.
I appreciate that. I hope that we can get this resolved. We'll at least be meeting the person who's been trying to get this thing off us shortly, it seems. So perhaps we can put an end to it there.
I nod. I just hope that you will set the creature free like you agreed upon.
I'll make sure of it. He's helped us, and I know he's been truthful. He couldn't have known that name unless he had met the person with it.
And we shall find answers.
She!
Oh, my apologies. You have good hearing.
Can I feel with my ring that Arena is still not at 100% health?
Yeah.
I'm going
And
to tend
26
to
out of
Arena.
35.
She's still not at her full capacity. I can help her.
I can assist as well.
So I'd like to go over and start checking out her wounds and maybe putting some salves on it and things that I have in my bag to help her feel better faster.
Make a little bit of a medicine check.
Okay.
Oh no. Anyone? 8.
I mean, narratively, there is no way to
No,
heal
yeah.
someone with medicine, so you can't also harm them with basic medicine. But you still get an 8. Like, it's not like you got an actual real 1. You got a natural 1, but you have a +7. So overall, although you try and do your best with the stuff you have on you, these poisons are quite effective for a reason, and there's no way that you can massively speed up the process of her healing from it. Like, a good night's rest will probably do as much as it would anyway, and you don't find a way to really change that. However, you still tend to her and make sure that she is at least going to be well rested tonight.
Okay. I would just encourage her to lay down and rest, and in the morning, assure her that she'll feel better.
What if more of them come?
We'll be more prepared this time.
I would ask Pew to keep up detect magic and help me keep an eye on things because he perceives through my senses but has his own roles. So I'm like, just help me watch for him.
Which one is Pew? Yeah. That one.
Which one
No?
isn't Pew?
Is this Pew? Hello, I am Pew. Will do.
Good meeting, Pew.
Okay. Sleep time?
Yeah, I could lay on hands, Arena, but if it doesn't matter, then
Yeah, if she gets some rest, she'll get some hit dice back anyway.
Unless you get ambushed again.
Yep. If.
all right.
Just
I spend
I
9 lay on
snuggle
hands.
really close to Mecha Pietro.
I spend
Okay.
9 lay on hands.
Okay. Arena's back to full.
Yay.
You sleep. The rest of the night goes by without much issue, and as the sun is beginning to rise over the horizon, Gatton, there is a small high-pitched voice from within you.
I need to pee.
Go in there.
What, you want me to pee inside you? You've got
Yes.
some weird kinks there, fella.
I think you greatly underestimate my willingness to kill you and leave you here. Go there. I'll hose it out later.
Roll to pee.
There's a strange, warm trickling sensation inside your chest cavity.
I live in the woods. Also, it's got to pee in the bag that it's tied in, so I'm like, it's suffering worse than me. I do not care.
Does this smell
Oh,
weird?
yeah.
Not how I saw the session going today.
Nope. And it's almost certainly out of the bag, you can feel, but it's still in your chest cavity.
I would escape the knot in the bag.
Yes.
Yep.
It had a lot of time last night.
Yep. I figured.
But it hasn't tried to make an escape yet.
I was about to say, I got that attack opportunity teed up, man. I will cut this thing in half if it tries to run. So
I mean, it can always try and do a disengage, but it'll still be vaguely within a range where problems might happen.
Mm-hmm. Although, believe it or not, while especially if I'm standing watch, I would I'd be willing to still talk to it through the telepathic crystal. I mean, again, it's a creature of the woods, and so am I. Like, I don't bear it any particular ill will, especially once I realized it was just like trying to do a job.
Okay, yeah, it would probably be kind of petulant would be the best way to describe it for the most of the night. It would go between periods of not talking to you and then periods of just insulting you and your heritage. But towards the end, it does seem to just get a little bit bored of that when it doesn't really get a response. Goes a little bit more quiet and then engages occasionally with requests, but I would just say I essentially would just be I would not be trying to interrogate. I really would be asking about, like, you know, the lands around here, the creatures, and asking like particularly fairly granular questions about like bears and birds, and like the fact that like I'm actually interested in it, you know, that's essentially would be the type of things I'd be asking it. Yeah.
I don't mess around with any of those giant furry bastards.
Probably a
really
good life
slow.
strategy. Do you
Really slow.
Do you live in this area, or were you also passing through?
Neither. Came in to do a job. You're the job.
Yes. Well, you are very quick, friend. I'm sure you'll be back home in no time.
Well, Portal's a little way away from here, but then I can pass over, go back to the nice place, you know, hang out, have a chill, meet some dryads.
Okay. OOC, again, druid, but does Gettin have any comprehension of the Feywild? Does he know about portals and spirit worlds and things?
I mean, make a nature check, but it'll be an incredibly low DC.
Yep. I would also ask Pew if Pew like any idea what this dude's
I think
talking
make
about.
one for yourself, and then you can always make one for you. So it's really low DC.
Yeah, but I mean, roll 20 finds a way to go lower, so that's why I'm.
You know pretty much everything, the basic information about the Feywild. You know all of it. It's one of the inner sphere planes that sits next to and adjacent to your reality. It's the opposite of the Shadowfell, and yes, there are places of natural beauty that cross over.
There's a portal to the Feywild near here.
I mean, not that near. It was, you know, even a day at my speed to get here. But it was worth it. I mean, it would have been worth it. The pay was going to be good.
Where is it located?
Wow, now you want to make another deal?
Yes,
After
perhaps.
making me pee inside you? For free, I might add.
After I spared your life.
You're just a colossal dick, aren't you?
You've been spared by me once, so...
Wow. Careful, I'll begin to like you.
I assure you it will be temporary.
Oh, that's good to hear. There's a place not too far. That's what I'm telling you. Don't like you that much.
Still, within a day's travel of here at your speed, and it's still quite some distance, but useful nonetheless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then I tell Pew separately, we need to keep an eye out and try and figure out how we could know where the portal to the Feywild is, because again, for Pew's primary function, this seems relevant. This is something he'd be interested in as well. I'm all like, bro, there's a
That would be
Feywild
most
portal.
useful information. I will make sure to keep up the magical detection.
Yeah, and then beyond that, I really would just ask him just like random, I mean, as we're traveling, moving, you know what I mean? Like, just questions about him and his life, what it's like in the Feywild, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah.
He informs you that someone is at the front door for takeaway that was ordered like 3 hours ago, but I couldn't cancel because the help desk was down. So unfortunately, a quickling runs. I'm gonna be back in a sec.
Yeah, just pee on it. Yep. Perrin. And I would say this via the psychic crystal as well, so he doesn't know that I told you, but I would reveal to you that it told me there's a portal to the Feywild somewhere around here.
Oh, that's interesting to know. I suppose we could check it out. I'm not that familiar with the Feywild. I'm not sure if there's anything fun we could do with that or important.
Well, I realize we're on a mission now, but perhaps at some point in the future, it is a plane of supreme natural beauty and not insignificant danger.
Oh, that first part made it sound like a nice place for a brief visit, but maybe not if there's the danger bit.
Still, maybe both. What do you make of our new cleric, friend?
Seems nice enough. I'm just
Yes.
trying to avoid letting them know about the key because, you know, then people might try and capture her and interrogate her about it. If she doesn't know anything, then she might be protected from that.
Unfortunately, not knowing won't necessarily stop the interrogation, but it would stop her being able to reveal too much. I see no tactical advantage of revealing the truth just yet.
Especially considering we're about to meet Masha and perhaps prevent her from coming after us anymore.
Yes, this person has dogged us at every step, and also may have been behind the attack on the Cogdeers. She may or may not be Vanya's sister, but if we encounter her, you know what I am going to do.
Yes, though we should try and learn some information before we deal with her. She may well have been sent by someone else, perhaps a survivor.
All I did was tell him about the Feywild, and then that's what you heard. But I did tell him about the Feywild.
Does Perrin know anything about the Feywild and like?
Make a nature or arcana
He told
or
him telepathically,
history.
just so you know. So it wasn't like...
Okay. Yeah. History would be a higher DC, FYI.
Let's do a nature. Let's see. Oh, I get an extra 3 on my history.
It won't be good enough to beat the DC difference.
Okay. Nature it is.
He's a half elf.
11.
You know about the Feywild. You don't know anywhere near as much information as Gatton. You probably wouldn't know about the crossover points, but you would know that there are ways to cross over, and there is an inner-sphere plane, so traveling to it is much easier than traveling to other planes, and it's kind of a reflection of our world in nature.
Right, yeah. Perrin was considering a visit until he heard that it's also quite dangerous in there.
You'd also know that a lot of elves left to the Feywild.
Yeah. Perrin's of the mind of just log that for later, and like if we ever come across someone who's like, oh, I really need to get to the Feywild, we can be like, I know the place.
Okay.
Yep.
Otherwise, Perrin's got nothing.
Yep. I will say again, this is all as we're traveling. But if Gatton ever like comes across any large birds, especially like big birds, super gonna start asking them like, you know, hey BT Dubs, like what's up with the Feywild? I heard I could get there somewhere around here. You know, where it is, party in the fairy circle, you know. Because I figured the birds will be better traveled, have a vantage point of seeing things coming and going. So
I mean, there's definitely birds around. Easily enough as you have that thought, you can kind of look up and there'll be a few flying over, etc. If you do want to just talk to one,
yeah,
easy enough.
basically, I'm not trying to suck up all the oxygen of me, like, interrogating wildlife. I'm just saying, like, that's now got front of mind awareness to gotten the figuring. Even if we don't go
Grab
through
the
it,
squirrel.
at least.
Where are they?
Where's Rachel? Where's the Feywild?
Where is she?
Yeah.
Snatches a bird out of the air.
Somebody knows. Yeah, that's all. As we're traveling, it's kind of like if it's in the area, he would like to know. That's all.
I mean, I'll be quite frank. You will probably then, over the course of the next, day or two of travel, at some point there, you will talk to a few animals, and they're all going to reply as would Int 3 or Int 2 creatures, and be like, that sounds interesting. I don't know what it is. Oh, look, squirrel. So unfortunately, not particularly helpful.
Like Perrin said, something to tuck in the back pocket.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while traveling, Arena?
Yeah, I wanted to have a conversation. Is it Cyrus or Cirrus? I think people have been
It's
saying it both
Cyrus.
ways.
I know.
Cyrus.
I'm going with Cyrus.
Cyrus, okay. Like, I feel like people have said it both ways now, and I'm like, now I'm confused. Yeah, I think along the travel, maybe whenever we're at like one of our like camp breaks or something like that, Harina kind of walk up and be like,
You're always reading out of your book. What is that all about?
It keeps me centered. This is the scripture, and I'll turn the book towards Arena. So if you ever find yourself out of balance, I go back to this, and it rebalances me.
Harina will read the book if you let her kind of like flip the pages.
Yeah, if you show any interest, I'm gonna like kind of almost try to push it into your hands to read it.
Yeah, she kind of takes the book. And I think we've talked about this a little bit before in another scene. She's like,
Why is it that you have decided to come travel with?
There was a lot of routine back where I'm from, and I wanted to maybe experience something different for a little while. And this path isn't always the safest. I thought maybe I could aid in keeping you safe. When I became a cleric, I swore that I would help people. So if anyone asks me for their help, I generally say yes.
It's very nice of you.
I think it feels like my calling, which I know maybe sounds cliche, but it felt and feels right to me.
I don't think so. I think that I completely understand. I feel like I have a calling.
What is that?
well, and it flips the page of the book again. And she like smiles at the book and says,
It is very closely tied.
well, this, and she holds the book up.
Are you a follower of the Raven Queen as well?
She nods.
Oh, I did not know this. This is exciting. I would love to talk about it more with you.
Sure. I mean, my family is a little divided at the home because my mother and father don't necessarily name gods. We kind of have like a, polygod situation at our house, but to be fair, I think we all really do appreciate the Raven.
And she says that in a way that's like too familiar.
May I ask who the other god is?
Is it my mother's side?
Your mother's side.
Yeah. Which god was she?
Which was it? The more like run rampant neutral nature, Melora, or was it Arroway, who was more about like fertility and so on, until Arroway passed from the realm and
Might have been
it would have been
Arroway.
replaced
I'm not
with.
sure. Because that was a. That was
Yeah,
something you had
Arroway passed
mentioned.
from the realm about 600 years ago-ish, and was replaced with Serenray
I will.
and Iomade. Both of them took over the pantheons of Dawn and Arroway.
I will relay that to you.
Okay. Who do you align with more, if you don't mind me asking?
I've always felt very connected to.
It was the same for me. I grew up with it, but I could have left at any time. Yet it still calls to me. It gives new meaning to death, and I find a lot of comfort in that.
Yeah. I'm feeling more comfort in that now.
Do you mind me asking why you're on this journey?
Very long. It is a very long explanation. Well, to start with, I had never really left my home before. I always hear great grand stories from Perrin. He has traveled a lot and done a lot of things. Does archaeologist stuff. Always digs up really interesting trinkets. And I love it. But I have never really gone on adventures on my own. Not until, well, more recent. More out of necessity than anything else. Although, when the traveling tower arrived at my homeland, well, I chanced. Felt it in my heart, like something was calling to me. I had to go. I know my mother and father really did not want. But Perrin made a compelling story. He's very persuasive when he wants to be.
I glance over at Perrin. He seems trustworthy. I wonder, did something happen to you all to make you not trust anymore? Besides your own group?
Sorry, my internet's wonking out again, I think.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what
Yeah,
we want
apparently
to do
there's
on
been
that
some
front.
stream buffering happening.
What?
Apparently there's been some buffering happening for people.
Yeah, that happened to me, but I thought it was just local.
I thought it was just me. Right. Do you want to fire up the switch over?
Fire up the what?
Switch over the hosting to my end.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, I can switch
Lately,
that
I
over
don't
in a
know what's going
moment.
on with my internet. We contact the ISP, so they're looking into what the problem is. But like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't think it's Twitch. People are saying it's Twitch. I'm pretty sure it's on my end.
No, it's yeah.
The reason why they're asking too is
Sorry,
probably because
everyone.
it's lagging on their end. Sorry, I know we were having a really good scene, Katie. I just thought like
You're
There's
fine.
this long moment pause in the scene which lasts exactly like 1 minute, and
I don't want
I will
anyone to
let you
miss
know
the
when I
scene
can.
either.
And then slowly
Silence.
Pixie Pea just comes leaking out of my chest plate. There it is.
Ew.
I mean, not gonna lie, basically.
Doesn't it get like absorbed by his wood?
You kidding? Surely I have been like water treated.
Warning. It's just like, where's that? All right, I'm gonna switch to my headset too, because these little ears are hurting my head. The elf ears.
Hi, welcome
Set,
back
switcheroo complete.
to
I'm sorry, Rick.
1080p.
I'm sorry we've done this to you again.
Goodness. Hi.
Sorry.
Is it me?
I'm gonna
Am I
try to figure out what's
cursed?
going on with my internet.
Yeah, it's you,
I'm the
definitely
only new
you.
thing. So,
Everyone
no,
blame
it's not
Katie.
you.
yep. Just blame
No,
me.
I've been having issues lately with my internet. It's just a pain in the butt. But it's not just me. It's like a bunch of people in my neighborhood. Their internet's just keeps dropping.
Look,
so
as bad a time as you're having currently, at least you're not being peed on by a fae.
You said usually you have to pay for that.
There you go.
oh no, depends on
Probably
you know,
cheaper than
what
Comcast.
areas you're in.
Right. Anyway, now the stream is back up and the Quickling stream has finished. Please continue your lovely, touching scene. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was like, we were having such a good scene.
So after you tell me about the traveling tower and Perrin convincing you to go, I mention that I think Perrin is trustworthy. but it triggers something in my mind, and I ask you, is there something that's happened that makes you not trust outsiders?
Arena kind of like looks around and looks down at her hands and like fiddles a bit as she's like flipping the pages of the book.
Well, it is not so much outsiders. It is more... You know how you said you wanted to protect people?
Mm-hmm.
It's more like that. I want to make sure everyone else that I care about is safe. And I found out more recently that sometimes when you share too many things with people, which, you know, I always used to do. I would share everything and tell everyone everything. And sometimes I don't think they liked it. I was often told to go away. But now I find myself realizing that I should not tell everybody everything all the time.
I can understand that being a rule to live by, but also it's about finding the right people to share your story with. Not everyone, but the right people. And, in a way, I've trusted you and your companions to come with you. I personally would have hoped that the same trust would have been bestowed to me, but I understand that if things have happened, it can be hard.
Arena looks down like almost like shameful, and then hands you back the book.
I hope
It
I have
is
not
not
upset
that I
you.
Don't trust you. Oh no, you have not upset me.
She sighs.
It is not a matter of trust per se. It is more that we have to protect other people. And we all have our secrets. But I have some pretty big ones.
As I mentioned to your companions before, it's not my place to judge. I'm sure I've done plenty that people would frown upon too. And I flip frantically through the prayer book and land on a specific page that looks very well worn. And I point to a scripture. This book has taught me, though, sometimes you have to take risks. And risks include trusting people. Good can come out of it, but also some bad. But there's always a reason for it.
Arena will kind of like look up to the sky and look for that constellation that had my grandfather's star on it.
Yeah, still see the raven.
She kind of stares at it. She stares at it a little bit. And I guess, I don't know, is there like a roll I can make to see if I feel like I can trust her, or
Make an insight roll.
like a sign?
But more like an insight roll to like try and gauge the personality of someone.
13.
That's down for Cyrus. Cyrus, do you feel meta-wise that a 13 insight is enough to understand how trustworthy you are?
I feel like it's too middle of the road, but it's leaning more towards maybe she's starting to trust me. The other thing I know too is trust is earned. But also trust takes risks as well. It's like you have to find your own compass and listen to it. It's like deep in your gut. You have to listen to it. And it's more right than it is wrong.
Sometimes my gut is just hungry.
That is true too. Listen to it then as well. But my hope is that over time we can become friends, and maybe you will trust me someday.
I would like that.
And she kind of twiddles like necklace that's around her neck. She has a couple, but one of them is, it looks like it's missing another half of it. And Marina kind of like takes it off and holds it in her hand and offers it to you to look at and says,
Well, I can trust you with this part, and I don't think it will be as dangerous for you to know.
she hands you this other half of the necklace.
This belongs to my friend Vanya. I have come to really trust her too. And you are right, sometimes taking risks is important. And it has definitely been something that has changed me. But taking risks can also be very dangerous. It can hurt the people you love the most.
That is true. What is this necklace?
Well,
Why?
Vanya entrusted it to me, so that Masha would know that we knew her sister. Masha is the sister of our friend Vanya. But something has happened. She was once a follower of the Raven Queen as well, but I think she has lost her wings.
I flip the necklace over in my hand and look at it, and I start to hand it back. Maybe we can help her find her wings again.
She takes the necklace back and kind of like clasps it in her hand. Sorry, there's airplanes going on above me. If you're hearing like weird
Really
noises.
loud birds.
Just really loud birds. I live like near an airport.
Dragons,
Like
there's dragons around,
Navy
you know,
base.
ones
Yeah,
just
sure.
like flying over.
Just a wind
it's got
elemental.
jet engines instead of wings. It's that one from Ragnarok.
She kind of like twiddles grasps the necklace and then puts it back on and looks back up to the stars and it's like,
I don't know what's in store for us, but Vanya seems to really care about her sister. And I know if it were me and it were one of my siblings, I would want to try my darndest to get them to, come back to the light. But I don't think it's going to be that easy.
It usually never is. If things were easy, I think life would be a lot different, but it helps shape us. One thing
She
I
nods.
know, I watch all of you together, and I can tell that you very much care about each other. And if maybe we show that care to Masha, her wings might sprout again.
We can certainly try. Perrin and I have known each other for a very long time. Granted, I have lived many years beyond his, but he seems to have seen so much more than I have, and doesn't seem as fazed by some of the things that we have seen. And we've seen some pretty horrible stuff.
and she kind of like looks off into the distance like she's seen some shit. And then
And Cotton, well, he's been part of my family ever since I was born. But only more recently has he come to life.
There's a reason for everything, and clearly you are all together for a reason.
I like to think so too.
And maybe you're more than just friends, but more of a family.
I like to think so. I love them all dearly, and if anything were to happen to them, well, I don't know what I would do.
And I will do my best to make sure that you get where you need to be safely. And I sit up a little taller. And we'll have words with Masha, and not swords, hopefully just words.
Well, I hope so. But maybe you can be a big help in that. Perhaps
she puts her hand on like the book that you hold, and clasp your hand if you allow.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps she just needs to hear the right words.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
But sometimes it's not enough.
No. Some lose their way or are blinded by worldly things. And you have to do what you need to do. Sometimes that is the right thing.
Arena will stand up and takes a deep breath and looks at the stars again.
Yes. I think there are many things that we need to do.
You just tell me how I can help.
You're already doing it. You've helped me a lot. It's nice to have someone to talk to.
I very much enjoy talking to you and hearing about your lives, and we've had some excitement so far, but I'm glad that I've come with you.
She offers her hand to you and says,
Well, maybe you can tell us about your life. I'm sure Gaten and Perrin would like to know more information too. I feel like we've shared a lot on our end, but maybe not heard as much from you and how maybe you came to be a cleric of the Raven Queen.
Yes, it's a long, not very long story, but I keep to myself because when you're in the church, you're taught more to listen than to speak. My parents disappeared when I was young, and a priest took me in and raised me in the church, and now it's my home. It's always been my home.
I think that's very similar to what happened with Masha and Vanya.
Yeah, the church does take in a lot of orphans. So my parents, I don't know where they are. They're out there somewhere. Maybe one day the Raven Queen will bring them back to me.
Do you have anything that reminds you of your family?
I reach into my side bag and pull out just a weathered note that has a handwritten "Please take care of her" on it.
Is there anything like when I'm looking at this, can I investigate it? Like to see if there's anything that like stands out to me as like iconic or rememberable that like maybe later I'll be like, I remember this handwriting or
Sure, make an investigation check, I guess.
or name. $23. Not a dirty one though.
No, that's only inside Gatton.
Could have just killed him.
I'm trying to think
I
if
love
I've
that if
seen
it like
the
threatened
handwriting.
me, you would have just been like squished.
Literally, I was gonna like, what? Oh, that's rough. You had 1 hit point.
I don't think you've seen the handwriting of many people, so you try
It's
and memorize
more of
it
like-
as best.
Yeah, memorizing it or like the name on it, like if I recognize it again at a later time, you know?
Yeah, there's no name, just says please take care of her. You try and memorize the handwriting as best you can. You study it for any sort of clues. Unfortunately, there aren't really any. It seems to be a quickly made note, scrawled. Unfortunately, nothing on it to really lead you to anyone.
Do you have anything else?
Arena says as if like almost like that's it.
Well, this was left with me at home. This is silly. And I reach into my bag and I pull out a piece of fabric. This is what I was wrapped in. Maybe it's a bit odd that I still have it. It's too small for me to use now, obviously, but... And you can see, like, it's very finely knitted together. Very homemade yellow and white crocheted blanket for a baby. That's all I had. If they left, they had to have gone for a good reason. At least that's what I tell myself.
Well,
Arena, actually thinking about it, you would recognize the handwriting quite quickly. Thinking about it, It would have been your grandfather's handwriting.
What? What? Okay. Okay. Then I didn't say what I said.
Are you sure this was written by your parents?
I look up at the sky. No, I didn't have many things with me. And as a cleric, I don't have many earthly possessions, but these two things were left with me.
Well, I know who this handwriting is, actually. But
You?
I don't know how they could be related to you. It was my grandfather's handwriting. But I do know that he led, well, a group that I think maybe you are a part of.
What is the name of that group? I'm trying to look for my notes.
Evan Claw?
No, it was like the side thing that Vanya's sister and her were part of.
Vanya was part of it. The Sable Eye.
Yeah, that's what it was. How do you spell that? Sable Eye? Is it just Sable?
Sable space EYE.
Okay, just Sable Eye. Vanya had like a symbol on her, right? Like a tattoo or something?
She
emblem?
had her pendant, which looked like it was the... I think her pendant looked like it was the Ebon Claw, but when she showed it to you, you could see
had, like, a
a
glint.
gleaming eye on it, yeah.
Yeah, I look at Cyrus's. Does she have that too?
It seems to be the symbol of the Ebon Claw. It's a claw with 3 points curled inwards.
So I don't see the shine part.
But that only did happen when Vanya wanted to show it to you like that. We saw it many times before, and it was just a claw.
Okay. You see me kind of staring at your emblem.
I have a lot of questions, but is this something of importance? And I touch the emblem.
Maybe?
Arena says, like, not very deceptively, because she's terrible at deceiving things. I'm the worst.
I don't know how this could have been your grandfather who wrote this note. Or
Well-
why?
We live to be very old, us gnomes. So maybe he was there with your family?
One of the worst parts of this is I don't have much information on where I came from. I guess my family. My emblem means something to you, though. I could tell that maybe you were holding back a little bit.
She kind of takes a deep breath and...
Yeah, there is something, but I thought maybe you might know what it is.
Is it something that I do know what it is?
As far as you're aware, there are 2 main orders to the Church of the Raven Queen. There are some minor orders as well, but there are 2 main ones. You do know that you did switch from the Midnight Feather to the Ebon Claw. Maybe that she's getting something about that.
I've changed over the... I mean, this is just a brooch.
Oh,
You see her, like, just like... It looks like she was, like, kind of relieved, but also, like, now curious.
what do you mean you switched over?
I started more as a support, as a part of the Midnight Feather, and then I switched to more of a active role after some time. Does this have anything to do with, how would this have anything to do with your family?
Well, that is a long story, but my grandfather is part of the Ravenclaw, and he...
Well, that's what I'm a part of now. I am a part of that now.
Yeah. He was very important, and I guess I didn't... I mean, he was always important to me, but I didn't realize how important he was to everyone else. He didn't always tell us everything, but I think it was for the same reasons that we've talked about. To protect us.
I have a feeling that I look up at the constellation of the Raven Queen, that she's brought us together for a reason.
She looks up as well.
Yes, I think so. And whatever I can do to help find your parents, I will.
I just want to make sure you get where you need to go safely. I've been without my parents for a long time. I've had to put that to rest. It was a death in its own way.
She nods.
I do not know your pain, but I do understand pain. And I think knowing is better than not knowing, so it must hurt a lot.
One of the other reasons I read my book so much is it settles my mind when it wanders to things that I can't control or things that I can't understand.
That is
It
why I
brings
work
me
on
peace.
my projects.
She pulls out like a little flower with a light bulb on it and offers it to you.
I take it into my hands. Does it light up?
Yeah, it looks like one of these flowers and it has like a little light bulb on it, and when you touch it, it like lights up.
This isn't... Wait, does that mean that you also... And I point to... Pietro is in like a mech suit kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Rena very obviously is like,
Oh, no.
Oh,
We found that in...
and she explains where she found it, which sounds like truthful, but maybe there's something else there.
You know what? This is such a thing you've gone over before. Do you want to make this deception insight?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Do I get advantage on my deception then? No.
No, not unless you whip out the paperwork you have.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
oh yes, we found this in the
If I start
ruins
seeing
of
her-
Gawaras.
Yeah, I'm like saying that, but then like if I see that she's like being a little sus, I like pull out my paperwork and I will show her. See,
Natural 20. The first one was like, so like
Yes,
initially you could get the
perfectly fine.
quaver in her voice. You're like, whoa, but then she pulls out this beautifully like ornate paperwork with the scroll work, wax seal on it from one of the major auction houses in Vihioras, certifying that this is a archaeological find by Arena Cogdir and Perrin Velderail, and is the property of Arena Cogdir, and isn't something that would be recreatable by anyone, and is a legitimate archaeological find, and as such would not breach the paradigm ban and would be totally allowed under the laws of the Dead City and most of Niceline.
As soon as she pulls out the paperwork, I'm like, oh, you don't need. Oh, I was just curious if you had made that. I mean, this alone is incredible. I'm sorry, I made an assumption.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I'm just mesmerized by this little glow up light in my hand. Well, you're very talented, and I hand it back to her.
Oh, you can keep it, but it might not work after a while.
Was there anything I can do to make it work again, if it doesn't?
Bring it back to me?
Well, maybe this is just a way that we can stay connected. And I grab my little blanket and I wrap up a little flower in it and I tuck it into my bag. Now I have 3 things.
Oh, I want to give her more things.
You want to convert her into a materialist.
Yeah. You know, be a little like sad, but try to like amp up and say,
Well, we should go see the others.
and kind of offers her hand and then walks back towards the
Kind
other
of
two.
wish there was an outlet mall nearby and you could just be like, let's go to the mall. We're going to buy you stuff.
Well, they're both like sitting there in the quiet, mind talking to each other right now. Like we're like out loud chatting, and then they're just like mind chatting.
Important,
I would
important secrets.
follow.
And
Yeah,
I
I'd
guess
follow.
Mecca Pietro's just been hanging out, so
Okay. Any other talking when you get back together? Anything you'd like to do? Secrets? Crying?
How common are telepathic crystals?
I mean, not super common. Telepathy is probably a rare ability to get, but it is certainly like not like unheard of.
you can roll Arcana, I think, right, for her to recognize what Gatton has. On
Possibly,
him.
yeah. If you want to roll Arcana, you might understand if that's something that there have been more of or whatever. But as a general rule of thumb,
I'm curious if are you two doing tasks as you're mind talking to each other, or are you just sitting there like in a meditative state?
No, walking. I don't even look at him when I'm doing it.
Okay. So I
Yeah,
feel
we're
like
probably deliberately keeping it secret.
I was only gonna do something if they were just like sitting there kind of silently. So since they're moving about, I'm just not gonna think anything of it.
Mhm. Yeah, they're trying to hide it because it's a secret conversation, I think.
Yup.
Y'all are probably better at that stuff than I am. Well, Perrin is definitely better than that than the rest of us. Is that Pietro?
coming from inside Gatton.
Oh, okay. Sounded like Pietro.
Yes.
I forget that I have to slow down to talk to you. You're all so... I'm... tired. Are we rest yet?
You're tired. You don't have to do anything.
I'm standing ankle deep in my own piss in here.
You sort of brought that on yourself. Soak
you
it up with the
not
bag and have
pee?
a seat.
Okay. Round of a berry.
Excuse me.
I get another berry.
What'll happen if I wild shape with this thing in the chest cavity?
It would pop out.
You're not allowed to have another creature inside you while you are a bear. That would be weird.
I mean, first of all, don't kink shame me. So, I just stop and I say, how far are we from the inn?
Probably a day. Said it would be a couple of days travel.
I just one by one telepathically to each one of them. I just say, because you guys can talk to me, you can't talk to each other, but I mean, I can relay the messages. I just say, this is clearly a trap. When I open my chest cavity, it will attempt to escape.
Yeah. We can be
What?
ready.
Do I hear that?
Oh yeah, no, I say it to you. I mean, I kind of have to do it like one by one, but I mean, I do tell you, you know,
We each have to respond
clearly.
individually, but we can.
Yeah, I'm like, clearly it's just going to try and run.
Do I recognize that it's a telepath? Like, this is the first time I think you've done this to
Yeah.
me, so I feel like I'm like looking around, like, where did that come from? But then I kind of explain it away, like, oh, he just said something, and I didn't see his mouth move. So
As one does.
I probably would say something out loud. What do you mean it'll be a trap?
Just like very slowly turn and look at her.
What if we make him a little leash, like a little? We could tie it around, and I would hold it, and he could walk with us.
Yes, but the moment I open the chest compartment, he will attempt to escape.
We could
Is there
wait
any way?
till we next rest and do it in a tent, and then we'd be blocking the exit, door sealed.
Was my thought if there were. Well, I don't suppose we have a compartment large enough to fit me.
Well, I have a better idea. It might take me some time.
I can make like a box. Can I just like put it onto the compartment and then he walks
Like a
into it?
feeding box?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. We'll put some good berries in it, drop it on there, and then just like open it and let him come out to eat. 100%.
I mean, you have a cart which has crates full of stuff. Like, you could probably move some stuff around and make a small box available and then fiddle with it if you wanted. If you want to go to that level of holding your hostage.
Yes, we do.
That's what makes it a hostage, yeah.
We could put breathing holes and
I'll make it
pee-draining
livable.
holes in it.
I'll put,
Also, I will-
blanket in there. Like
I'll
Arena is gonna make a little home, you know. Like a
Okay.
little-
I will express to all of you the reason why I'm not letting this thing go is it's super fast, can run ahead and warn her, and she'll be gone before we get there. That's the whole point why Gatton is not letting it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
There is the risk that its friends already have, but nothing we can do about
At
it.
some point, I'm going to have to put you all in a prison and then be like, you don't need anywhere to pee. You can just stand in the pee, and there's a chute for the food, and it will fall into the pee. This is fine. You did it to someone else.
I don't,
saying
yeah,
we
but
put
I don't
holes in
need
the
to eat
box.
or pee. So I'm like, this doesn't bother Gatton at all. Yep.
I said we could put holes in the box for draining the pee, so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I make it like a little hamster cage, you know, like where you have. I can pull out a tray, clean it.
We're just gonna like walk around this torso piece where it's got like a double wide trailer where it can sort of like move around. Yeah.
Put it in a little bowl.
Oh, and then little tubes that go around you so I can run around.
Then put Pietro in it and have it like duel it to the death. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Yeah, if
We're
you
not
can,
really
if you
doing
can,
that, but-
if you can concoct something where we
I'll
can
make him a
reasonably
little
feed this
homely
thing,
home.
yeah, without reasonably feeded with reasonable security, then yes, have
It's
at it.
gonna be more time, yeah. And if I have enough time to like make a little tiny house.
So, like, if you just want to convert one of the boxes you have on the cart, that would be quite quick, because you literally can just be like, sonic screwdriver, turn it into a little drill some holes in the top, drill some holes in the bottom, and add some bits. You can do that maybe inside an hour. The difficulty to like try and break out of it is going to depend on, I would say in this case, it'd be a carpentry check.
Okay.
So if you just want to make that, I don't think you have skills with carpentry, so it'll be a flat.
I don't have proficiency with carpentry skills, so
make it flat in check then.
carpentry tools. And then not. How do I un?
Oh, just make it an int check.
Wait.
You don't have proficiency with it.
Oh
so you just
yeah,
roll in.
okay. But I get a +1 for my magic tool.
That's a +1 to your spell saves and DC. It doesn't give you it on stuff like that. No.
Okay. 6. Oh no.
Okay, you make it.
It's a shoddy home.
The
Shoddy.
box is built. You carefully try and transfer the little Fae that you have, and with a bit of effort, you get the Fae back at home. No longer drenched in pee. Maybe you throw some water over it to kind of wash it. And you settle in for the night.
Since I don't sleep, I literally sit holding the box. Yeah. And also put P on alert too.
And Mecha Pietro will also be on watch.
Okay. Right. Yeah, and make me a perception roll for being on watch, and make Pietro do the same.
And one for Pew.
Pew would be using your eyes, so like it wouldn't really change anything. It more like you would make the roll. Pew can only really
Actually,
yeah.
Well, but
this
Pew
thing
does have.
says whatever form the tool takes, you are proficient with it.
Oh, okay. In which case your proficiency bonus is 3, so that would be a 9 you got. Okay.
Pew does process things through my senses, but has his own stats. But well, either way, he's detecting magic. That'll be a thing he can do.
It means that your perception check will get augmented by being able to see magic. So, and then if you want Mech Pietro to do the roll.
$17.
Okay. The night goes by without incident. It does start to rain, and pretty heavily, and this means that as you start to wake up, you'll notice the ground below you is much softer. It's kind of a drizzle as you wake up now, omnipresent. It's very much a grey sky. And the roads that you're traveling, although they have been treated with gravel and stuff to try and make it less like they're going to slide away, there's definitely sections where water's pooled, and you can tell that there's, that's just quite deep mud. But you start collecting your things. Anything you want to do, or just want to head on?
I don't think I have anything else unless someone
Double check and make sure she's still got her bag.
Yeah, we would of course want to make sure.
Okay. Arena, as you go to check, you open the pocket, and inside is the bag. You're fine.
Okay.
Then
Gonna mess with us.
Yeah, he's trolling me.
hoist break everything down, keep this box, and keep moving.
Okay. The prisoner is basically silent for the entire day. You start moving. The horse is just a little bit slower today, trying to find its footing on the wet ground. And by the end of the day, it's getting pretty dark as you make your way towards the inn. This inn kind of stands almost in the middle of nowhere. There are only like a couple of buildings nearby, and they're mostly spread out. It seems that this area was maybe an area where they were going to start putting down a town, and then the town never really developed. It is kind of just off the main road, and this road does lead between some pretty important locations, but it seems that trade up and down here never really found this town of use. And so, although you can find that there is an inn, and then there are a couple of houses nearby, that is literally it. And it is near the edge of the river. You can kind of see the river, maybe like 800, 900 meters away. And as you're going down the road, now seeing this in the distance as you come over a very low hill, this is mostly a flat area, you are approached by 5 horsemen who seem to be making their way towards you with, I would say it's like a canter. Like, they're definitely got a little bit of speed in them, but they're not overly exerting themselves. And you notice that these are 5 people in armor. One of them is carrying a banner, and they all seem intent on heading towards you.
We can see the inn from here, you say?
Yeah, you can just about see it in the distance. Yeah.
I hold up the box and I look at it and I say, "Give us your word that you will not go to the end, and I am prepared to release you now."
Okay. As you hold up the box, you notice that one of the corners has been gnawed through.
No.
Oh, is that what the perception checks are
damn.
for?
I rolled incredibly highly, both on my stealth check and on my escape check.
Oh, with any luck, she just decided to go home rather than anywhere else.
Yep.
I look over to the approaching people on horseback. Do I recognize the banner they're carrying?
For the record, I should have killed that thing.
Make a history check.
Again. Dave's just like,
everything. I should have killed it. Like, this is-
Every time I've shown mercy, it has been a mistake. I just want the record to show that.
It appears to be Keldwin. It is the banner of
If
Keldwin.
it was a near-death flag, I'd be like,
Yeah, I was like,
What's going
my
on?
nation, it's returned.
Yeah, it's Keldwin.
Keldwin.
The kingdom
My
of Keldwin.
people. Okay.
You
yeah.
crossed into them
Uh,
probably earlier today.
Yeah, sure, that's fine then. Perrin's got no massive issues with Kelduin. He's a bit miffed with him, but in general, it's fine.
I don't think I do either.
Quick history
Gatton
lesson.
definitely doesn't. Probably.
Keldwin is the large nation on the east of the north of the continent. It is roughly the same size as the Marin Empire, however, only has one tower. It used to be Near-Earth, Keldwin, and then the Marin Empire. However, the Marin Empire attacked Near-Earth, trying to take the city of Near-Earth and the tower. And as they did so, Keldwin kind of just rolled into Near-Earth with the intention of being like, crap, I guess we should take this land before the Marin Empire does. It's debatable whether it's a bad thing that they were taking the land off Near-Earth, or they were just taking it because the Lemurian Empire were winning, and they needed to just be like, Lemurian Empire, don't get this land. It's kind of like the partitioning of Poland in some regards to people. It's a debated topic, and it depends where you lie on the subject.
It's a muddy situation, so parents just like, whatever, I hate the Lumarians. I don't have time for bothering about Keldwin.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, these 5 riders start cantering up to you, and you notice that as they get to about within 100 feet, they start to spread out a little bit. 3 of them go ahead, and 1 of them is a little bit behind. The last one seems to start circling around.
I'm gonna, seeing that they're wary of us, I'm gonna raise a hand and be like, good day to you.
They start pulling up short. Good day to you. What brings such an interesting company into the kingdom of Keldwin under Queen Steelsong?
We're traveling south to Near-Earth.
What business do you have traveling into the Lemurian Empire?
Well, mainly we want to visit the tower there, and I have some family.
Right. Make a persuasion check. Advantage, because it's true and it's an easy check.
Okay. I was like, there's no point trying to like mess with the truth here. It's like there's nothing harmful about the core reasons we're heading south. 20.
Fair enough. Careful though. The rains this time of year are a bit dodgy on the road. Make sure you take your footing well. Your
Yeah,
party-
is there something up for you to be wary?
About a month ago, the traveling tower appeared in just the other side of the border in the Dead Cities. We had a number of people traveling there at quite some pace. So we're
I see.
a little bit more on guard. We've also had a couple of weird incidents ever since then.
Weird incidents?
Yes, a couple of people go missing. But that was mainly at nighttime, so we're not as worried during the day. Might I ask, considering your attire, Perrin is bronzed abs and everything right now.
I feel like it's not too showy because the head is uncovered and he's got like cloaks on and stuff over most of it.
Sure.
But you can see it.
Yeah, and you've got the rest of you. You've got Mecha Pietro. You are very much an obvious group to look at.
As a group, definitely an intriguing team to encounter.
Might I
Be in
ask
the cart.
what levels you have amongst you?
How rare is level 5?
Amongst the general populace? Rare. Again, like, not many people go into towers in the first place. In terms of people who go into towers, most people stop at or before 3, because that means they only need to go into 1 tower, and you will generally find that most people in normal infantry positions and so on will be somewhere between level 1 and 3. 5 is probably you're getting into like 8% of all people in towers have got to level 5, maybe lower than that. Probably lower than that. Probably like 5% of people who've been into towers. And 5 is notably the place where you start getting multi-attack and throw fireballs. Like, you become a military weapon at about 5.
Okay, I'm wary of trying to lie to these people, and the main concern is just they don't go blabbing to the people in the inn about us in the like 5 minutes between us talking to them and walking in. So I think Perrin will just be truthful and say, well, we have been in towers 5 times, but don't worry, we're just passing through.
Right. You're just passing through and you're going to Near-Death. Do you have intentions to work for the Lamarian Empire?
Oh no.
Smiles with that tone and... Be careful then, friend. The Lamarian Empire are a little bit touchy of people crossing their borders with power these days. The resistance in Near-Death is causing them some problems.
I'll keep an eye on myself. I've seen the things that the Lamarian can do when you're on the wrong side of them.
Aye, that might be true. But, be careful nonetheless.
I will.
What's in the cart?
Supplies for the road. I look back and try to think like what's in there. It's like some of our gear.
Also, like, 3,000 gold's worth of artifacts.
Some of our gear.
Okay. Make a deception check.
I mean, that's not a false statement.
I would definitely count that as deceiving. Whether you would call that a technical lie or not is debatable. It's definitely deception to hide the fact that you have
it's just odds
valuable
and ends,
trade goods. Yeah.
No vast fortunes or anything. I mean, why would we, be carrying like extremely large amounts of gold that you couldn't carry on your person or anything? That'd be weird. Yeah, what? 18.
Fair enough. Someone who is traveling back to Near-Death without too many concerns. Probably don't want to look too closely anyway at you. Good luck.
And good luck to you with the problems you've been having. With any luck, it'll clear up the longer the traveling tower's gone.
It does seem to have calmed out a bit recently. Though we have had a few people from Oleona and some of the surrounding lands headed this way, looking to try and get into the Moon Tower, or into Near-Death. Go to the Shattered Spire.
The missing people that you mentioned, did they leave anything behind, or do you know who took them?
Mostly people on the road. We got reports of people staying at inns, heading to other inns, people never showing up. A couple of people who lived on the land around here. Farmers, people who cater to travelers, just going missing.
No signs of struggle or anything?
Going missing entirely.
Strange. I look at Perrin, like, what the
How recently did these disappearances begin?
About a month ago they started. Maybe a little bit more. At the time of the traveling tower appearing. You can understand how we're a bit wary of foreigners in our land.
How do you know they didn't just go to seek their fortune in the tower?
They could have done. Although, considering one of them was a daughter of an innkeeper and was only about 14 years of age, very much doubt she headed up to the tower to seek her fortune by herself.
She's a daughter of a shopkeeper, and teenagers were never known for the wisdom of their actions.
Hey now.
True enough. But we have a long, arid cover, and it isn't particularly well populated, so there's much ground we need to go over, and unfortunately that means that we don't have the luxury of investigating beyond a cursory inspection.
Was it the daughter of this innkeeper?
Turns around as if only noticing the inn for the first time. No, it's one a little bit back along the trail, towards Oleana.
And I turn and look at the others, and I'm like, perhaps along the way we can keep an eye out for anything unusual.
Yes, if we see or hear anything, we'll definitely let you know.
Well, much appreciated. Best of luck to you.
And you.
You notice that they start to just pull back and circle past you. You notice now that as the two people who kept a little bit further back start moving with them, the one who was maybe about 20 foot back seems to have on the inside of their arm a set of strings that go from just about the elbow down to roughly the palm of their hand. Almost like it's part of a musical instrument that is being hidden on the inside of the arm. The one further back, as they go catching up with you, although from a distance they look like they're wearing armor, as they go past you, you can now notice that that's mostly just kind of treated fabric that's been padded to make it look like a steel breastplate. But as they go past you, it's very obvious that it's actually just a fake cloth breastplate that at distance would look real, but up close is just obviously not anything.
So they're under-equipped?
No, they're pretty well equipped, but they're obviously trying to make it look like they have equipment that they don't. Or hiding equipment that they do. If you want, you can make an int check.
Nah, roll 20 will just betray me.
It's true.
As they pass, can I notice that? Can I just do a blessing on them as they pass?
Sure, yeah. As you start blessing them, they'll just start nodding in turn. It seems that they do recognize the Raven Queen. None of them say anything super out loud or anything. Most people in the world are polytheistic. So.
Yeah, I just noticed that they don't have actual armor on that I can see, and feel
the
like
one
they might...
at the back definitely didn't. It was definitely
Okay.
a cloth breastplate that looks at a distance like it's been like painted gray, and there's a slight like kind of tinge to it that makes it look like someone tried to paint like a kind of a specular on it, where it's like a lighter color. Up close, it's kind of just like a weird pillow. But
Is it common that people do that in this area?
make an int check.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I have to find it. That's intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Why can't I? Oh, there it is. Sorry.
17. Yeah, you know this. This is a common military tactic when they don't have the affordability of stuff like disguise, armor, disguise, hats, whatever, which is to try and hide battlefield roles. The person in the fake armor was probably like a wizard or a sorcerer, and to prevent enemies picking them out quickly and just nuking them down, they deliberately disguise them from a distance as if they have fake armor, etc. The one with the musical instrument along the inside of the arm, probably a bard, and as a support class, wanted them behind the troops but not obvious to pick out, so he hides the instrument on the inside of the arm.
I just observe and I do my blessing and nod to them as they ride past.
Okay. Gatton, Pew informs you quite helpfully.
The last one in the... Oh, this is awfully loud. The last one actually has several magical items on them, including a book.
Oh yeah, you did tell him to watch out for magical stuff. That's right.
Hopefully this is of use.
Now, again, apologies, because Gatton lives in this world, although, you know, he is not really a historian as such. even though we just had kind of a decent enough interaction here, these people, I have no reason to believe them to be like actively hostile. Like we didn't just like sneak through Checkpoint Charlie type thing. I mean, this is just a neighboring kingdom, correct?
Yeah. And they've got a pretty reasonable relationship with the Dead Cities. The militaries tend to share access to towers with people so that they can get higher level people into the militaries, especially in the face of the Near-Earth, the Lumerian Empire, who have 3 towers. So the Dead Cities and the Kingdom of Keldwyn actually cooperate in terms of military access to training.
As that person is moving by, I just tell them telepathically, I would be willing to compensate you if you would allow my friend to read your book.
You get back in your mind, your group is very particular. Interesting, but unfortunately our military strictures prevent such disclosure. So thank you for the offer.
Yes. Be safe, friend.
And to you too, Warforged.
Yep. And when they're gone, like gone, I tell them all what I clocked. But I mean, I make sure they're like a ways off. And I do say that I even offered to pay the guy to let Arena read it. But he said no. So I mean, like that, the entire thing, I know Gadden keeps a lot of things to himself. This is when I tell them all of that.
Arena appreciates you thinking of her.
Always.
Well, at least they have some experience in a tower. Still, they're maybe out of their depth with whatever this disappearance thing is.
It's very strange. Wonder who would be taking people at night and leaving no trace behind.
There could be many suspects, but we have one more we need to get to, especially if that creature did in fact run ahead and warn Masha.
Yeah, let's see if we can meet our elusive friend.
I would like to whatever double time is, whatever the horse can, like, even if we push it a bit, if it means we stay at the inn a little longer, like, you know, kind of put the spur, like I will ask politely to the horse, be like, horse, I'm sorry, but we gotta and then,
Yeah, you can easily double time the horse. It does have a cart, so it won't double time super quick, but it can speed up a fair amount, and you can all
he
kind of
also
jog next to it.
shapeshift, and then the two of them like?
If you
yeah,
want
so
to use
I thought about it. Yeah, I thought about it, but we got the single horse set up. Otherwise I could. Yeah. Well, within reason. Again, not trying to break the cart, not trying to break the horse, but it's like, you know, we need to get there.
You know, you can see it, and it is kind of a drizzly rain, so that the distance you can see it at, we're talking like maybe 2 kilometers. So you can easily just double time it and jog for 2 kilometers. And you will get to the inn, the Hanged Halfling. And we're going to continue after the break.
Hanged Halfling? What did you say? I thought it was called Hangman.
Yeah, I'm going to burn it. Burn it down. I'm like, new plan, bar the doors, burn it down.
No, we just made friends with the guards.
But they also left, so I feel like that's on them.
Also, I do have a question. Would any of us have heard of like any stories like this in the past? Like, is there a pattern of maybe in the past people going missing at night type of thing? Especially like with my past, like vampire stuff. Okay.
No, what
Supposed to be good at history.
I guess we'll come back to it.
23.
Okay, do you want to know about people going missing in night in general, or in this area? Because people go missing at night all the time, because it's the easiest time to hide bodies.
Yeah. Not general, more probably. I guess if there was like, you know, kind of like mass murderer style things, mass kidnapping or mass disappearances of people in history. So I guess, yeah, if there's a history of this in
this area, not particularly. In terms of like in your area, prior to the disappearance of the vampire lords and so on, all the time, but that would be generally less disappearances and often more, yeah, we just took someone, we don't care, we're in charge. Occasionally there were just disappearances. And certainly afterwards, for quite a number of decades before the vampires were fully rooted out, there would be disappearances of vampires who were living on the edge of society and trying to take people. With a 23, you'll know that they weren't always in the dark. There are a couple of cases, certainly, of some vampires who got their thralls and stuff do stuff for them during the daytime and kidnap people to throw off people, you know, knowing that, oh, it must be a vampire, is at night. And there were also one of the vampire lords, their clan of vampires, they were able to operate during the day. They managed to change their curse and their lineage so that they could walk around in daylight, although they didn't like it. But it did mean that by changing their curse, they became less powerful overall. But they did end up being a very useful clan. That would be the vampire lord of Roraz.
Okay.
So they didn't necessarily need to kidnap people at night. So there were
This is
occasions
happening at
during
night,
the day.
so.
Yes.
Arena, whilst we travel before we arrive at the Hangman Inn, is probably telling you her conspiracy theorist that maybe vampires are back.
Well, I hope it's not vampires. We've had quite enough of undead stuff recently.
And with that, we're gonna go to a break. When we get back, we'll go into the inn, and you'll get a lovely pint and a meal and actually a bed. But
Ooh.
enjoy, I guess, a hold screen where I will try and very quickly put together some music because this was a quickly bodged together job from last
Sorry.
week. So nope.
Yeah,
no worries.
maybe next week you just run it until my internet is fixed.
I mean, they can see my GM rolls. That's the problem. Secrets.
Yeah, but we can't. That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's good. It's fun for them when they can see the GM
Oh,
rolls.
can't see. Can't see the secrets. Anyway, so
Well,
we'll be back in about 8 minutes.
Roll physical dice. It's fine.
That's true. You could roll physical dice. It's more fun.
Hello, and welcome back to Roll For It, where we're playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition Ascension. Okay. So, before the break, you had a very interesting talk with a quickling who told you that someone called Masha, who you have run into at least the name before, was going to pay them to get the bag with a certain object inside and provide it to them. And the meetup was going to be an inn called the Hanged Halfling in a couple of days. You have transitioned over, walked down towards the Hanged Halfling, been informed by a couple of guards that people had gone missing and that people had been through here heading towards the Traveling Tower, and that they were a little bit more wary because of that, and that the rains were causing a little bit of traveling trouble. With that said, the quickling unfortunately had escaped during the night. You were left with a box with a hole in the bottom that looked like it had been gnawed through and weakened at some point, and then just pushed through by a very quick little quickling who happened to get a really good score at escaping. With that said, you headed down towards the Hanged Halfling, which is a relatively small inn. Big-ish for general inns, but definitely small to be an inn that stands by itself. It has to have rooms and board and storage, etc., because it isn't in the middle of a large town. It pretty much stands by itself with only 3 buildings around it. One which is a bit further away, and you can kind of see that seems to be some kind of like house or something, and then 2 nearby that seem to be in the vicinity of it. Out back, you can hear the sound of horses and people chatting. Seems to be like there's maybe a stable around the back for stabling people's horses as they travel. And you can see the vague glow from inside of people talking. And sure.
Did you say there was a body of water nearby?
There's the river over about 800, 900 meters away.
So, and I would say this to them. I'm like, how did Masha get ahead of us? Perhaps did she travel down the river?
Well, we don't know that she was ever necessarily in Bahir. She simply could have sent someone there to hand the mission to Skinface.
How does she know we would be here so precisely?
Perhaps she was following her sister.
Which again, how did she get here ahead of us?
There's the possibility that she's in league with the survivor, and the survivor is able to know a lot of things that they shouldn't be able to.
There definitely seems to be some correlation there. The survivor knew about the attack on the Cogdeers, as well as our recent acquisition.
I think the sort of people that are after us right now are the kind that like to stay in one place and puppet things from a distance.
I sort of look around and I'm like, normally I am loath to split up, but perhaps 2 of us should go around back to the stable while 2 enter the inn. Make sure everything is as it seems.
All right. We need to put the carriage in there anyway, right?
Yes.
It's probably quite likely that if any of us walk into the inn, except perhaps Cyrus, will be identified immediately, and if Mesh is there, she'll try and escape. So definitely try and have the place kind of surrounded, or at least the exits covered.
Well, I am definitely conspicuous. Perhaps Arena and I go around to park the cart, and Perrin and Cyrus head on inside.
Sounds like a plan.
That sounds good.
If anything goes wrong, just the primal weapon again.
Mecha Pietro can probably hang out in the cart when we take it around to the back.
Guard our stuff. Yeah, and I mean, obviously we cover it, blankets, tarps, put some vegetables on top of, like, you know, the crates. You know, don't just scream, you know, break crate here for priceless
the
art
cart
object.
would come with a tarp for like rainy conditions, so you just pull the tarp over.
Yep.
Put a sign on it saying "No tools kept in cart overnight."
Yep. Exactly. Absolutely not art. And then
How's my carting?
Yeah.
Thing of value here. Keep going.
Yeah. Driver carries less than $20 cash. Yeah.
Yeah.
alright.
So who's going around the back and who's going in the front?
I believe
There's
it's
and Perrin are going in the front.
Arena and I are heading around back.
We'll do the ones going around back first. Gatton and Arena, as you begin to pull the cart around back and you get down, you lead it by the reins. You find out back there is a pretty short halfling, and short even for halflings. Certainly taller than Arena though, who seems to be hanging out there. Has like some chewing tobacco and is just moving the jaw back and forth. Looks up and sees you, looks down again, and then looks up again, looks up further and notices Gatton cowering around the corner. You want to put that in the stables?
Ideally, yes.
Right, sure. Stabling for the horse and oats and a cart. Sure, okay. A fireplace for that. That will be 2 silver. For the stabling overnight.
Again, in the times we've traveled, that seems like a fair price, right?
Seems like a fair price, yeah.
Fair to
all right.
cheap.
Yeah. Acceptable. Yep, and I pay him.
Are you gonna go that from your sheet, or does Bentham need to? I don't remember who has our money.
I think I've got at least 2 silver personally.
Okay, I don't have any money personally, so
If you want to come up party funds, state party funds, then I assume Bentham will just take it off the party funds. Yeah.
yeah.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
I just do say to him, I say, might I trouble you for a little bit of information?
Sure. Don't get many, people like yourself around here.
Well, that was my exact question. Have there been any other unusual travelers here of late?
Yeah. So people heading up towards that traveling tower up near Ollie something.
This would have been in the last day or two.
Oh, last day or two. Let me have a look. Maybe a couple of people. There was little blue fella, lass of some kind. She zipped past here, zipped inside, zipped out the back, zipped inside again, tipped the bucket over there over my feet, and then headed off. That was probably only about, I don't know, say 3 hours ago.
Right. Has anybody left since then?
Since then, not that I know of.
Thank you. I give him 1 more silver.
Oh, thank you very much.
Did they said they left when?
Little blue fella came by about 3 hours ago. She came in, I assume the front, zipped out the back, zipped in again, zipped out the back, blindingly fast, only stopped long enough to tip the pail down there over my feet.
I have Pew hit detect magic, and I look around where it was zipping to see if there was something hidden out here.
Sure, make a perception, make an investigation check, because you're trying to look for the result of something.
Yes.
Did you tell me to look around at all, or
Yeah, I share with you what I'm doing.
telepathically or something?
Yeah.
I
I don't try and hide the fact that I'm very much like, you know. Okay. Investigation.
Just because you're supposed to be good at something doesn't mean you will be.
Literally the opposite of, yeah. Yeah, and I've rolled to disbelieve, so great.
You don't really find anything. It's the stables is, maybe half full. There are maybe 2 other horses in there. The pail that was indicated is just like a wooden bucket, and it does seem to be full of horse manure and scrapings of hay from the stables. And you can tell there is a place nearby where it looks like there's kind of a patch that started to be washed away, where maybe it got tipped over. if you want to RP for a second, I think my doorbell's about to go off again. Sorry.
All right.
I just
Hopefully
tell-
it's the chicken.
well, telepathically to Arena, I'm just like, I really should have destroyed that creature.
Well, I don't think that she's left yet, right?
Yes, but now she knows we're coming. Or, of course, perhaps was never here.
But if she is in cahoots with the survivor, then she probably already knows that we're coming. They seem to have
Yes.
some kind of oracle on their side anyway.
How?
Somebody. Well, there's a lot of people, especially in the Raven Queen's era, that have augury skills. It is a pretty common thing.
Well,
And even with druids.
we met the Oracle, and yet they wanted him removed. I believe this is about to get more complicated for us. I, for one, am very tired of not knowing what is going on. Nope,
Yes.
enjoy.
Cyrus also was feeling that way. I feel bad not being able to tell people what is happening, but I know it's for their own good.
Theirs and ours. Although I'm sure she is a wonderful person, we did meet her yesterday.
Very true.
This
I did tell her about Masha and Vanya, so she is not completely in the dark.
Yes. Otherwise, she might not understand why we went to war with a stranger. Is this inn as such that I'm tall enough that I could physically like lift Arena towards a window? Like a second story window, like put her like in a higher up place or help her?
Yeah, you need to make a couple of checks, but you could totally possibly do that.
I'm supposed to be good at acrobatic stuff, so that's also a thing. I could
Oh,
climb.
boom, 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 boom. You know, I'm like, I just turn and look and I say, Perrin and Cyrus are already headed inside. I could attempt to put you through the window that the creature flew in and out of, but you would be on your own. Although I suppose I could crawl in afterwards myself.
When the stable hand indicated, they did indicate kind of all over, and particularly they indicated the back door, which is open. It's just another way into the inn.
I could make myself small and smaller.
You would
and
become tiny.
stealth.
You would become its size.
Yeah, and then stealth. Sneak in.
Are you going to try and go in the back door? Or are you going to try and want me to put you through a higher window?
The higher window scares me. Anything with height where I can go splat from falling scares me. But
Yeah,
I do
it's
have
like-
a levitate. I do have levitate as a reaction, so
Yeah, it's like 20 feet. It wouldn't kill you anyway. Yeah.
yeah.
Tis but a scratch.
Easy.
Yep.
Easy. All right. Are we thinking I go small mode and you put me up there, or?
The small part of it is up to you. I think I don't know that it's going to affect things for us mechanically either way. So it's
Would it make it harder for people to see me?
What's the spell say?
Well, I'd be a small creature. I'd be a smaller creature than I already am.
It means that you'd be able to be behind cover and stuff more easily.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like,
It wouldn't necessarily change your stealth roll, though.
Yep.
okay.
It makes you harder to grapple, not harder to see.
Well, yeah. I was thinking the DC would maybe be lower, but if not, then that sucks. Really, what is the point of this? I guess it just gives you advantages on strength checks and stuff like that.
Enlarge and reduce. Oh, fitting in places you couldn't normally fit. That's mostly. Yeah.
And you can, you'd get cover bonuses much more easily and stuff by being smaller.
Yeah, so I was saying, advantage on stealth checks.
Well, you're trying to
Or
stealth
high-
into
or-
someone's room or something, that wouldn't count.
Yeah.
All right, well, what do you guys think? Should he lift me up and put me up there, or should I just sneak through the back door?
They're not here. They can't say. This is me and you.
Well, they kind of out of character.
Yeah, no, I don't think
It's
so.
great because Perrin and Cyrus have no idea that
Yeah, I'd say just
that they're rumbled.
if you want to do
They're
it,
just gonna walk in.
go for it or not.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, you can lift me up and put me up there then. Let's do it.
So-
That'll work.
Well, let me just say, I'm going to put her in the window. I'm just gonna wait a beat and make sure I don't hear like screams or explosions, and then I will sneak in the back door. That's the plan, basically.
Okay. So, athletics check to kind of just, if you want to do it athletics, just kind of just chuck her at the window and have her be like dun 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 dun. Sure.
I mean,
Mission
technically,
Impossible music.
I'm better at athletics, but you know, we'll see. Again, reverse weighting.
18.
All right.
Oh, okay. I have fastball special. We've trained for this.
I do like a flip.
Yep. Arena, make me, because this is getting more like a throw and you to land properly. Make a acrobatics check.
All right. How gracefully do I land? 20, nat 20, 23.
Hey.
Nailed it.
Very gracefully.
Like you land perfectly on the outjutting like beam here, which kind of holds the lantern, and you land perfectly on it, like not even the faintest
So
quiver.
It's like the Assassin's Creed squat.
Yeah.
Make a stealth check, and I'll say because you landed so perfectly, you can have advantage on it.
Thank you. Oh, gracious DM. 16. Good
And
thing.
that's so good for advantage.
Well, it's better than a 13.
I mean, with a 3, it's still above average, so. Yeah, you land there, and then look in the window that's over the lantern, and it seems that there is kind of like a little bed made up. There seems to be like a suitcase vaguely at the bottom of the bed, like a traveling trunk of some kind. You can tell there's like a big bath or something that's been moved into the room. But there doesn't seem to be anything in it. And the place looks pretty quiet and still. It's dark in there.
Okay. And I don't know whose room this is, right?
Nope.
Part of me wants to open that suitcase. Just look inside. Yeah, I'm curious enough. I will kind of sneak over and try to
Okay.
pop the lock
So you're
on the
gonna like
suitcase to look
jimmy
in.
the window open. I guess this would be a thieves' tool check.
All right. Thieves' tool check. Dexterity or int?
Dexterity.
All right, here we go. 15.
Yeah. Without too much like issue, you probably get like a little wedge and a tiny little hammer. And you put the wedge at the bottom, and then you hammer it in until it like just lifts it up enough, and then you kind of like reach around with this little like length of wire you have until you can push up, and you can flick the catch on the inside of the window that releases the lock holding it down, and then you just push it up and like carefully step in, and it seems that there is no one in there. It is quiet.
Sneak over the suitcase and open it.
Okay. The suitcase itself seems to be kind of like a big traveling trunk. And as you just go up and you kind of flick a couple of the catches open, you notice that it seems to be full of clothes. And there's a few other things. There seems to be like some parchment, a couple of bottles of ink, and a lot of what appears to be like men's clothes. More kind of like dress clothes and casual wear clothes as opposed to traveling clothes.
Okay. I close it and then I will try to sneak out of the room, I guess.
Okay. Where are you sneaking to from here? Are you sneaking out the main door? Out the window again?
So basically, would it be like I have to like acrobatics like around the windows to like the next one kind of thing?
Yeah.
Is that what's
You'd
going to
have
be
to be
happening?
like kind of like
balancing
trying
myself.
to get to a new window. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'll do that. That makes more sense than walking around like in the middle of the place.
Okay. So your intention is to try and go around the outside of the building and go into every room you can.
Maybe not go in every room, but like looking in to see if there's anything
Okay.
that sticks out to me, I guess.
Um,
Unless our goal is to sneak in and go inside.
And Masha finds something, you know, so I would say if she's getting her Mission Impossible on, we'll still kind of hang in the area outside, again, waiting either one, if she falls, or two, if the explosions start going off in one of the windows.
Okay. In which case, as you begin to like carefully like position yourself back outside and then let the window down carefully, we're gonna go to the front and rewind time just a fraction. Perrin and Cyrus, as you head in the front, you head into what appears to be a medium to lively atmosphere. There is a little roaring fire. Oh, Sure.
Before we walk in, it's probably a brief pep talk of like, okay, the person we're looking for has never actually met us before, but likely will recognize me. Much less likely to recognize you. I'm gonna try and keep a lower profile, but you should be free to look around and see if you can spot them. And then I describe Masha from the locket that Vanya showed us.
Okay.
Will she recognize you with your new exterior?
Probably not actually, because it's so new.
So there you go. Maybe that will help.
Yeah, still the face, and I put my hood up and try and like conceal my face.
Okay. Do you put the helmet up?
Do you actually have a disguise kit?
No, but
because there are disguise kits.
Like I could turn my face into a bronze statue, but I don't know if that's overall positive or negative. It definitely draws attention, but may also kind of obscure my features.
This person I was looking for hasn't walked in, but this person with a bronze face looking exactly like the person I'm looking for has walked in.
Okay, we'll not do the bronze face.
I just pull up the hood. Sure. This is effectively like disguising without a disguise kit, so it's not going to drastically change things. It might change the DC a little bit, though.
Yeah, it's like any tiny improvement works.
Sure. Now to describe...
What race is Masha again? Because I can't remember.
She's a moon elf.
Yeah, she's a moon elf.
Now to describe Masha, you can, go over a few things, but you do say moon elf, and moon elves are rare enough that that's probably going to be enough.
But we know that Vanya changed her the way that she looked, so anything goes.
There is also that. It's like he describes and is like, it looks like a moon elf, and well, actually, they might not look. Oh no, I can't be sure, but the person may be able to change their face. If we're lucky, they'll look like a moon elf. If not, maybe it'll be someone else.
Would it be out of line to ask around for a Masha?
I'm thinking, depending on my read of the barkeep, perhaps we can ask and be like, hey, this person, they've ordered someone killed before. They're a criminal. So, if the innkeeper is of the mind of, not having criminals in their establishment rather than the keeping out of trouble kind, we may be able to get somewhere.
Nah, I am a cleric. I like talking to people. I can insert myself into situations that normally most people will not.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. If we do end up spotting the person, I think I will have a chat with them, which will keep them occupied long enough that the others can get into good positions to prevent them escaping.
Okay, I'll take your lead.
All right, let's see how this goes. And I walk in. None the wiser to the fact that, our rival has been warned.
Okay. You walk in. It's a medium to lively atmosphere. There is a roaring fire at one end, and there are people kind of huddled around it. You can see that there are a few travelers who've maybe come in the last 2 hours or so, who are still kind of trying to dry off damp clothes from all the rain outside. Everyone's boots, whose seems to be like the travelers, has mud caked on them, just as your boots have been caked with mud. As you come through, you're greeted by a nod from the barkeep, who seems to be kind of moving around at this little bar at the far end, who looks up at you. She seems to be a half-elf, of probably kind of half forest, so half wood elf. Kind of this deep tanned brown skin, unruly black hair that's kind of in curls. And as you walk in, make a kind of a little bit of a heavy sound in your heavy booted armor. She kind of squints at you a little bit and is like, how can I help you today? Do you need rooms?
I guess we do need rooms, don't we? Because what time of day is it?
It's late. This is the end of your second day of travel.
Sun's
probably just setting now. Okay. What kind of rooms do you want? Just a double or 2 singles? Will you be needing food as well?
Yes. How
We'll
do you
have-
normally bunk?
We'll work out the specifics. We've got friends parking cart around the back.
Well, hopefully they can work out the details of that with John. Okay. Will you be wanting some drinks then, or food?
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way to the bar.
You push towards them.
So
Okay.
so far, have we spotted any moon elves? You never know.
Make a perception check.
May I also be scanning the room?
Yep.
Five.
A 9.
Nailing it.
As you look around, you notice a few patrons, but I can describe them if you want. None of them do appear to be moon elves. None of the patrons seem to be like overly shirking themselves, like hiding into dark corners or whatever, so you can't see their faces. Everyone who you can see does not appear to be a moon elf.
I take a seat at the bar. Pull back the hood a little, but I'm still keeping it up so that like the people behind me can't stare too intensely.
Okay.
I'll sit next to Perrin and just look around because I'm not trying to hide my face. Like, is there anyone in a dark corner, or are there any shady areas that someone might be in?
Not with that perception. You don't spot anyone in dark corners or shady areas, so no.
Okay.
As soon as you sit down, a relatively lively human woman walks over. She's got obviously like kind of frilly kind of like edge to her kind of bodice. Short puffy sleeves that go down to just like above the middle of her bicep. And she's got a kind of leather apron on over the top. Oh, lovely to see some new travelers around here. How can I help you? Are you wanting drinks? If so, what will you be having?
I'll order something lightly alcoholic from the selection.
Would you like something, if lightly alcoholic, something good? You're looking for something that'll take the edge off the day? Something maybe a little bit heavier?
Just the edge will do.
Okay, sure. I can arrange that. And for yourself?
Do you have any wine?
We've got a selection. Would you like some wine from the western edge of the Marin Empire, or would you like something with a little bit more spice to it from south?
The darker, the better. You pick for me.
Okay, very well. Altogether, that'll run you to 4 copper pieces.
I'll hand over 4 copper.
Are you sure I can pay for mine?
That's no problem. Easier if one of us does it.
Thank you.
And she thanks you very much, puts the money into the little pouch on the front of her leather apron. Drinks will be with you shortly. Do you want any food or anything?
We're probably in need of food, aren't we?
If you're getting rooms, food is included in the room price.
We'll sort that out when we do then. Our friends will be in a minute.
And of course, if you do want to wait in about an hour's time, I'll be performing. So if you want to kind of time your food or anything.
Huh. All right, I look forward to it.
Sure. I'll be back with you shortly. She kind of goes back towards the bar and heads around the back and starts like pulling up some bottles. Meanwhile, Arena, as you get back out on the little beam with the light on the end, which is kind of swinging in the breeze, you get pelted with rain. And you look across, you can see like the next window in line. This one that's got like a short, like the outhouses below it, so there's a little roof below, but it's kind of a steep angle. You might have to like try and grab on and then hold. If you want to make an acrobatics check to jump to the next window.
Ooh, all right, here we go. 19. Oh.
You jump across, carefully get your feet, and you don't slip. You look through this window. Make a stealth check.
Oh, yeah. Four, not one.
As you look through the window, your foot slides on a tile and the tile shifts and then just kind of starts sliding where a couple of other tiles go with it, and you catch your feet. There's a whole kind of clatter as tiles fall off the top of the outhouse to the ground. Some of them break. And you see the stable
Bart
hand
Simpson.
who's relatively near Gatton. It's like, what was that? And looks up, sees you. What are you doing? Can you get down? Just completely shocked for the moment.
I'll go intercept that person. Excuse me.
What is he?
Just stand between him and her.
Can you get your friend to get down from there?
She got locked out of her room. This
You
seemed like
just
the easier way to
arrived.
get through. Is this the
This is
halfling
the
or
stable
somebody
hand
else?
you talked to before.
The same one, yeah.
Yeah.
As they then I turned my eyes red. That creature that you saw flitting in and out of there stole something from us. We're here to retrieve it.
Oh, okay. Come down and talk to Teresa. I'm sure she'll help you.
Take me to talk to Teresa right now.
If she gets down, she's breaking the roof.
It can be replaced.
She shouldn't be looking in people's windows. What if people are bathing?
Can I use mending on the thing?
No, that fixes two things that are broken. Like the tiles have fallen off the roof to the ground.
Okay. I didn't know if it's something I can mend.
I think
You're
you
like,
could probably
"I'm
fix some of the
fixing it."
individual tiles if you got down and you went to the tiles and you fixed them.
Gotcha.
You'd then need to put them back on the roof, but yeah. What does Arena do while this is happening? Like, you can obviously hear the voices coming over the rain.
I'm gonna try to. Did I see anything in the window?
But you haven't had a chance to really look through the window yet, as like kind of that happens and you catch yourself. If you want to like
Okay.
continue looking, well, then
Yeah, while
literally
Gab's
looking.
got this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
Okay. I'm gonna take the opportunity to kind of. 17.
As you look through, this room seems to be dark. There are a couple of beds not really made up. It doesn't look like anyone's in here or there's anything in here of note. It seems to be empty.
Okay. I'm gonna try to keep going.
Okay, at this point, like, the guy is like, I'm gonna go get the innkeep, and starts heading inside.
Please do. I'll be right here.
Okay.
Look, Benson's just like,
inside,
oh my god.
Karen
There was
Cyrus.
a plan. Like, it
Natty
wasn't
one
much of
man.
a plan, but there was a plan.
Terran Cyrus, you hear quite loudly as you can see the innkeep, and as you're looking around looking for people, you notice a new person come in, and you're like, no, it's a halfling, it's not a moon elf. But you hear quite loudly, there's this tree guy outside, and he's got a known friend, and they're breaking into the rooms, and they've broken half the tiles on the roof.
Oh
What?
no! What have they done?
Okay. And she looks under the bar and pulls out like this little like hatchet, probably used for chopping firewood. Right. Let's just get them to go down. Let's go. Come on.
I turn to Cyrus and I'm like, I'm gonna go. You can come with it or stay here. I'm gonna just make sure this doesn't go wrong.
I'll stay here and look for our friend, and yes, don't let them chop him up.
I think the others may have got a little overzealous, and I'm gonna hurry out. I guess with the innkeep. Or
Okay,
like,
as you
I'm
start
kinda
hurrying
catch up with
after
them
the
as they
innkeep,
go.
she looks up at you and down at you and goes, you obviously know how to handle yourself. There's a gold in it for you if you help me out here.
These are my friends. I think they may have got a bit. They don't travel much.
Make a persuasion check.
You should have just been like, yeah, I'm gonna take
Rolled off a 20, 14.
Okay, come with us then. She's very much like now wary of you.
Yeah.
But as you go out to the back, Arena, make an acrobatics check.
All right. I might slink away. Maybe we'll see. Probably not. I'm gonna fall. 19?
You
Pry
manage to
your
get
friend
over
off
to
of our
like
inn.
the next window, and this one, like, you have to shimmy across a beam that's kind of like a little bit stuck out from the wall. As you shimmy over, you're now further round.
Okay. Can I see inside?
Make a stealth check to begin with.
Okay, stealth check. Oh, come on. 20!
20.
Dirty 20, but 20.
Okay. Perrin, you come out, you see Gatton standing there. You see, like, the outhouse nearby, like, a load of tiles have fallen off the roof, and there's a little pile of them. The guy points up towards the window where Arena was, and I'm going to make a couple of perception checks. I'm going to hide my perception checks. Where are my
Come
dice?
on.
Find my dice. I got to get physical dice
Like,
now.
there she. Wait, what? No one was ever there.
You saw nothing.
This is not the gnome you're looking for.
This is not the gnome you're looking for.
I never said this. I am not here.
Gatton, you can do the intimidation, like, you don't see me. Stealth
True.
option.
The
I've done
intimidate
that.
stealth, yep.
Yeah, I did that with one of my characters once, and everyone in the chat was just laughing so hard. I think I crit on it too, which doesn't really actually crit, but
They both, like, look up in the direction. He's like, she was there a moment ago. She was looking through the windows. She broke the top of the out, and, like, they look over and they can see all the broken, like, tiles and stuff, and be like, she looks towards you and is like, okay, you're gonna explain what's going on here, and looks up at Gatton, and you need to explain yourself too.
I didn't see anything.
He's lying. Seriously.
When he says he's lying, I pull my sword out and I say, excuse me.
Gatton, let's not. This unnecessary.
He is impugning my honor. Where I come from, that means something. And I do point at the halfling.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh lord.
The halfling just backs away and is like,
21.
I'm gonna go look after the horses. I was obviously wrong. Sorry, just backs away.
What do
She
you
just
mean? I
looks at
just,
you
like-
and is like, looks down at the sword, looks over. Look, I don't know what you've got on here, but get your friend to get down from wherever she is. You're paying for that roof, and you've got a lot of explaining to do.
I turn and I look at the roof and I say, I apologize that the rain appears to have worn through your establishment. I would be willing to assist in its repair, yes.
Are you trying to deceive, or are you just saying that?
Yeah, just say it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm legit just stalling
I
for
would
Arena
legit
at
help
this point.
fix it, yeah.
right. So, yeah.
I look up at it. I'm like, what sort of costs would that kind of?
Well, wherever your friend is and
Damage
where she's
incur.
like breaking into people's rooms, looking through people's rooms, she needs to come down and not do that for a start.
Yeah, I take a few steps back from the building and look for Arena. Like, where did she actually go?
You can make a perception check.
When I turn
I'll
it,
give it a go.
I look and I'm like I said, I didn't see anything.
You don't see her.
13.
You can call out if you want, but you won't be able to see her.
Arena?
Why are you so bad at this? Like, if he calls out to her, I do just give him the slow turn.
Like, don't you look at me.
Oh no. I love RNG.
I go back over to the keeper. I'm like, listen, we'll get our friend down from wherever she's even got to. How much is the damage?
Well, I need to get someone to fix the roof, and I can probably do that myself, but I'll need some more tiles, and it'll take me time. But also, why are you doing this? You wanted to stay here. Why are you now breaking into my inn?
I don't
That's-
see
that's a
anyone breaking
question.
in.
That's a question I have too. I'm sure they don't actually intend to break in. They're just messing around.
Well, since we're clearly abandoning the plan, someone based out of your establishment paid brigands to rob us on the road. Someone ran ahead of us and warned them we were attempting to get the drop on this person.
Yes, we didn't want to cause you any trouble, but we wanted to see if we could locate someone.
Well, you've caused me trouble now.
Not our normal kind of trouble, I assure you.
This time I reach into my pocket and jingling is heard, and I'm like, again, what's your costs?
Get her down from wherever she's gone to.
Yes,
them
yes,
down
that's a given.
from wherever they're gone to. And are you still wanting to stay here?
I suppose it is
our
tolerable.
intention, yes. We'll pay for rooms if we stay. And I shrug and I pull out a gold and I hand her the gold. I'm like, will this do for the roof?
When they start negotiating, I'm like, before we agree to stay here, I may have a moon elf to kill. And I turn and start walking in the back door.
She's just going to stand in front of the back door. She's obviously smaller than you. She's going to stand in front of the back door and be like, you're not killing anyone in my establishment.
What if they deserve to die? They attack my friend's home and her family. And also a friend of mine. And also sent people to kill me. And also sent someone to rob me. And my friends.
And convince me of that and I'll kick them out of my establishment and then you can kill them.
Excellent.
You're all going to be trouble, I can tell.
Again, this is us on our best behavior, I assure you.
Yeah, adventurers, paying your way through all the problems you create for people. I get it.
Normally, we don't pay them with coins.
Great. One step up from brigands. 2 gold a night. And you get her down right now. Well, that price is going up.
I hand a second gold.
Isn't that massively overpriced?
Yes, massively
yeah.
overpriced.
Yeah, massively.
It's danger money.
That's like if you're gonna stay at like the nicest
It's about
establishment.
4 times the price, roughly speaking.
Yeah.
I say so. Apparently, I'm not the only brigand here.
Cleaning up after you is going to be costly, and the amount of trouble you're going to cause me and scare away other customers gonna cost me more. And that's 2 gold a night, in addition to the 1 gold for fixing the roof.
I pull out a third gold coin and hand it over.
And your friend?
I told you, I didn't see anything. And I keep trying to head inside.
If
I
you push
actually
past
don't
it,
know
you
where she
can, but
is.
you'll need to
I don't-
push her
no,
aside.
no,
Okay,
I'm not gonna hurt
She's
the
very,
lady.
very much staunchly in the doorway.
Yeah. I respect her house. You know,
Yeah,
she hasn't
yeah.
proven herself to be an enemy. Also, I'm super just stalling for Reina. Every second here is bonus.
Yeah, I look around. I'm like, I'm actually not sure where she's got to.
Arena, make an perception check to look in this third room.
Right. 8.
You can still kind of see in, but you can't really tell in this room what's going on. Like, there do appear to be, like, beds with bedclothes on them, but they seem to be kind of a mess. And whatever is out of sight around the corner of the room, because it's kind of one of those awkward L shapes, you can't really tell. So you can't tell if anyone is in there or not.
Okay. I don't know what to do on that front then. So I can see like it's a mess, but I can't tell if someone's in there.
Yeah, you can see, like, bedclothes are a mess, but you can't tell, like, is there traveling trunks? Is there, like, evil assassins or a squad of ninjas? Like, you can't see anything beyond the bed's a mess.
All right, I think at this point I need to get into the building. So I'm going to lift up the window and get in.
Okay, that'll be a thieves tool check. And again, those sort of checks take a little bit of time. So
Yeah.
she looks at Perrin and goes, get whoever it is down right now, or the price is going up again, or I'm kicking you out.
21. Dirty 21.
I step out and start, like, you know, walking around the back of the building, trying to see if I can actually spot her.
Okay. You won't. Her previous stealth roll stands. You're current perception roll stands.
But I don't think I can roll high enough to see her.
No. Arena, you like jimmy open the window and like begin to fit yourself inside. You make it in. You're going to go out the front into the main inn itself?
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way slowly across the room, get to the door. It's still very dark in here. Make a thieves' check to unjimmy the door and unlock it and then go through.
From the inside? Would
Yeah,
that be
no
unlockable?
fire safety doors. Back in the old day, it's just a key and a lock.
21. Wow.
Again, it takes you about a minute,
Back-to-back
but you're
21s.
fine.
This scares me.
Yeah, you make it into what appears to be like a kind of like a mezzanine balcony type area that goes around. You can see down below there are people chatting and talking. There seems to be kind of like a focus of attention on the bar at the moment, and people are like quizzically looking around and they're whispering amongst each other. But it seems to be a kind of a lively-ish atmosphere.
Do I see anyone that looks like a moon elf?
Make a perception check.
$14.
No, don't see any moon elves in here.
Okay.
Meanwhile, out back, 3 gold per night.
I throw a gold from where I am in the around one corner. Like I don't.
This time I try and catch the goal. We don't have to stay here. Like we work way too hard for this money. Like when he throws it, I literally am like, shh.
Okay, make a
This
hand
is.
check.
We can still ask this innkeeper if she's seen a moon elf money.
I make a what check? Sorry.
Sleight of hand.
Oh, well, never mind. It's inversely weighted. I'm supposed to be bad at it. Let's see if I'm good. Nope.
Catches the gold. Puts in her pocket. What is it with you adventurers?
Have you seen other adventurers lately? Look, we can be out of your hair if you help us locate this moon elf. She would have been accompanied by a retinue of very small, very fast people. I feel like they would have been difficult to miss.
Strangely, at this stage, I don't feel predisposed towards helping you.
Unfortunately, then I can also give word to the people that we already have inside that you don't feel like being helpful.
She looks over at Perrin's direction. The cleric, priestess, whatever she is. I know who's already inside. They came in together.
You don't know who went in the window. And I say in her mind with the crystal, and you don't know how far I can reach them.
Make an intimidation check.
Perrin at this point is just thinking like, is it too late for me to say I don't know these people?
You could have to start with.
And I just say again, I'm like, we're not here to hurt you or your establishment, but right now you're in the way, and our adversary might be escaping.
At this point, like, she takes the 3 gold that you've paid her so far, chucks it vaguely on the ground. She takes the 3 gold for the room. She's keeping the gold
Okay.
for the roof that you broke. Chucks it on the ground and takes a step back and goes to, like, close the door.
Meanwhile, we see
Yeah, I let her.
Cyrus just
You hear,
chilling
like,
with a cup of tea.
of, like, a bolt being pulled.
Yeah, and I
just hear all
pick up the gold.
Perrin behind Gatton is just his face forming like, what you didn't? What is she even doing?
I didn't hurt
Light of the
anyone.
I didn't hurt anyone.
Like, I actually can't see Arena. Where is she?
I just say in his mind, I tell him exactly where she went. I don't say it out loud
Brilliant.
because I don't know who's listening.
Brilliant. Could she have waited until, anything?
Well, if she hadn't have slipped, this would have worked perfectly, but I think we found things tend to go bad for us at the least opportune times.
I don't think opportune had anything to do with this situation.
You would not be complaining if the plan had succeeded. Also, why are you out here? You were
If the
supposed to
plan-
be inside.
Yes, and then I followed the innkeeper out when she grabbed a hatchet.
Do you think I fear a hatchet, Perrin?
I know. What I fear is what you would do to someone who wielded a hatchet at you.
That is a valid assessment. More importantly, how are we going to get Arena and Cyrus out of there? I mean, I could go through the window easily, but I have no desire to harm this woman's establishment needlessly.
Well, we're no longer welcome in the inn, so I think we hang about outside and we wait for them to leave, and then we come up with some other plan. Maybe Mash is already gone.
You said there's other horses in the stable, right?
What are the horses?
I'm gonna go talk to the horses while we're waiting to see if something crazy happens. See what they know or what they've seen, where they came from. You know? All right. Yeah, that's gonna be. Gad's very much like, well, let me know when there's violence. Turn and go talk to the horses.
Okay. We're gonna skip to the inside of the inn. The innkeep comes over to you, Cyrus. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
I have like a glass of wine in my hand and I'm just leaning against the bar. I don't. Why? I haven't
Because
done
your
anything.
friends are breaking into rooms in the inn and damaging part of the actual roof of the inn, and then threatening me and the rest of my employees. You're gonna have to leave right now.
That does not sound like them. I'm sure it's just a big misunderstanding. I set the wine glass down.
There's definitely a hush goes round as people kind of overhear this, and you can kind of hear conversation slowly dying off around you.
I promise you, I would not associate with people who would cause problems.
Make a
Can I
persuasion
stand up a
roll.
little taller? Okay. 9.
Well, maybe you need to reassess who you're associating with then. Off you
Oh,
go.
didn't you get an inspiration last episode? that
It
you
wipes
didn't
at
get
the end
to
of a
use?
session. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't use it.
yeah, because it was towards the end. Or no, it was in the beginning, I guess.
I take out my prayer book and I place it down on the bar. I would really appreciate if we could discuss this. I'm sure there's just a misunderstanding. They are not the type to steal or go into rooms, from my experience.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh my god. 9.
9. 2 9s in a row. What is happening?
And then I'm very sorry, but maybe you're just not very good at reading people. Sorry.
I am a cleric of the Raven Queen. I have, and you could tell like I'm starting to get uppity, but trying to control
Like
myself.
the mask is starting to break, yeah.
I would like to say that I have a very good read on people. I would not have gotten this far in the church if I had not had a good read on people. Maybe it's all a misunderstanding. I'm sure that is what it is.
Okay. Arena, can you make me a stealth check as you enter the main section of the inn?
Oh no.
No.
Oh no. It's so bad. It's 22.
I don't know if I have a music track for awkward AF, but I need that right now in my life.
Yeah.
Cheapy had some clown music for when things really go wrong for his roles.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe I slipped.
Yep. You manage to like close the door behind you, look over the balcony, and start like making your way downstairs. However, you quickly note that like people are talking about someone breaking into the inn and looking up at the balcony. They didn't see you, but people seem to be. It's a small enough group of people in here that if you suddenly like try and make your way into the people and be like, I don't know who could have done that, they'll be like, who are you? So you notably you can't just social in and be like, oh, that's weird, right? Because everyone knows who's in here. There's maybe like 6 people. So although you are hidden, bear in mind that just appearing and now you're in a open area is going to be a bit weird. But yeah, Cyrus, if you want to make a perception check as well, see if you notice Arena busting down the door and breaking out into the main area.
20.
Although you have a good look, you don't see
Oh,
Arena.
close. That's so close. Dang, you have a +7 to that, girl.
Oh, I needed that earlier, though. I needed
Yeah.
that roll.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, I would prefer not to leave. I am with that group, but I promise that I would not associate with anyone that would harm your inn, your bar.
Come back tomorrow and we can maybe talk about it.
I set my wine glass down and I look around the bar. One last time, do I see a moon elf?
Make a perception check. You don't see him enough.
Oh.
We're blind.
You've been bad at absolutely everything.
I grab my prayer book and I put my wine glass down. I would still like. Can we stay here tonight?
By the gods, no.
All right. Well,
By Omide and Sarenrae, Onatar, and all the fucking others, no.
it's like my face is very pale normally and it gets flushed with red. I hope you have a very calm night. And I grab my sickle and squeeze it tightly and walk out the door.
Okay. When you walk out the door, she walks over to the door behind you and closes it, and you hear the chunk of a bolt.
I'm immediately just standing in the street bewildered, and I'm looking for Gatton or Perrin or Arena.
Okay. As you go around the back, you find Perrin and Gatton having a conversation and just finishing up.
I will have you know
Gatton's
that
heading up for the horses.
we've
Yeah.
been kicked out of the establishment.
Yes, we have.
You see a
Did you
load
see
of
Arena
tiles
in there?
falling off the roof and cracked.
Well, what has happened?
I go a step closer so like it's not heard from people inside. It's like apparently Arena tried sneaking into the rooms. I think she succeeded, but they noticed, and then it was a bit of an altercation.
Well, they've barred the door, so I don't think if Arena's in there, she's getting out or we're getting in.
I mean, I guess she can come out via a window. I think that's the way she went in.
They will not be happy if they find her.
Nope. No, they won't. I mean, we can catch her as they throw her out one of the doors.
There's like an air of just almost like a little bit of frustration and confusion. Are you trying to steal?
I
that
wasn't. I was
is that-
trying to sit at the bar and strike up a conversation with the innkeeper and be like, "Oh, I hear there's some disappearances," just to get the idea of the, establish a friendly conversation, and then try and lead into, that we're looking for a fugitive who's a moon elf named Masha, if you happen to know. But never mind.
I do feel that if you're creeping around on the roof and breaking the tiles, they're not going to be as receptive to that.
I agreed.
Well, I don't know where we're staying tonight, but I could not even reason with them. And I did not see your friend when I took one last glance around the room.
I guess we can sleep in and around the cart tonight. We might want to keep some watches on the inn to see if anyone tries to sneak away. At
Are
this
there
point,
any-
everyone in the inn will know that someone was there looking for someone, I imagine. Or it will have, if Masha's there, she will have picked up that we're onto her. So if she's not already gone, she'll try and sneak off in the night.
Have you done many stealth missions before? Usually you try to keep as low of a profile as possible. And then you work your way in.
That's, yeah. You don't need to tell me. Don't worry.
All right, well then I'm a little bit at a loss. I told that man that I believe that you are good people, and I'm hoping I am correct.
My apologies to any damage to your reputation. I look back around at the building to see if Arena's emerged yet, and I just shrug and like facepalm some more.
Yep. Gatton's ritual casting Speak with Animals.
Gatton's gonna ask the horses if they've seen anything, which is actually a good idea. Maybe he should have led with that.
As that's happening, because the ritual casting takes 10 minutes, Arena, you notice the front door clunk. The bar goes across it. And the innkeep turns around and announces to everyone who obviously saw this confrontation. It appears a group of adventurers have been trying to break into people's rooms. If you're all worried, go check on your possessions. I'm dreadfully sorry for the inconvenience. The bridge is out further up the road, but if you are going to Oleona and you want to push through, you can. There is an inn, I don't know, a few leagues up the road, which you can go to if you want. I would request everyone stay. I will be providing a round of drinks for the inconvenience. I'm very sorry. And then you hear some people being like, adventurers from Traveling Tower, people with new power, misusing it. Always the case. Our common folk. And a number of people start walking up the stairs to try to get to their rooms. At this point, like, you have plenty of notice that people are starting to gravitate up towards the rooms, and you're on the balcony. What do you want to do?
I guess I'm just gonna kind of hide. My goal here is to just observe and watch and see if I see anything that looks suspicious. So anywhere that I can hide, that I can have as much view as I possibly can, is going to always be what I'm going to be doing, and I'll just be trying to like avoid people seeing me.
Okay. If you want to find like a good hiding place that you can hide in and take some time to then suss out the room, make a stealth check.
Okay. Again.
Yeah, you're getting targeted by multiple people as this gets worse and worse and worse.
This is gonna be bad. I've rolled too many good ones. I'm scared.
Yeah, the problem is that you keep
you
digging
also
the
rolled the
situation
most
worse.
clutch bad one, so you know you're due for some luck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm due for some bad stuff though, too. 5. Here it is.
Okay, as you
I'm
go
like, I
to
have
like
a bad feeling.
you notice, all right, there's some like a closet off there, right? You go hide in the closet, you'll be able to see it. It's got a pretty good view, and as you go up to it and start pulling on it, you realize that the door is stuck, and you start pulling on it a little bit more frantically as people come up the stairs, and as you're still pulling on it, they get to the top of the stairs and like, who's she? Who? Intruder! Look, that's the one that's breaking into our rooms! And you notice that about 3 people, one of them a little bit better dressed than the rest, seems to be like a traveler of some kind, has got a cape that seems to be like pinned up off to one side to kind of just dry out, and you see like a little bit of water's coming off it as it's kind of slowly drying. And then what appears to be their attendant, who seems to be constantly at their side and has a side sword, they like slowly pull the side sword out. And there's that hesitation. There is definitely a hesitation, like they don't know what to do here. And you're definitely caught.
No need to take out your weapon. I'm not going to hurt anyone.
They look you up and down at...
I was just trying to open up the closet.
Make a deception roll with disadvantage, because they know who is in the inn.
I was trying to open the closet. It's not a lie.
It's a deception. It's
we
not
don't
a lie.
We don't require disadvantage to be terrible at this.
7.
Disadvantage, so it could be worse.
Oh, you need me to roll again?
Yeah.
I said we don't need disadvantage, and she rolled a 7.
17.
Okay. 7, yeah. They're just like...
But I wasn't technically lying. I was trying to open the closet.
Sure, but that's like... That's still like, you broke in, like, that isn't the important part. The important part is you're
No,
like...
I get the rolling the deception. I meant just the disadvantage to me.
What closet is she describing here? Is this a person's closet?
No, it's a closet
No, I thought it's in the hallway.
like
Yeah.
Off the balcony.
If it was a person's closet, I could understand it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna.
No, the
I thought
disadvantage
you were
is
saying like I was
they
only
know
trying to
who is
break
in the
into this
inn.
person's belongings.
Everyone knows who is in the inn. Like I said, there's 6 people, and like you standing there and be like, I'm just trying to break into the closet. It's like, is it gonna phase them at all? It's definitely something they're gonna be like, what the fuck? So disadvantage.
All right.
And they just like, there's another 10 seconds where they're like, what? And then they step forward and like, Teresa, we found, there's a gnome up here. And Teresa starts like hurrying forwards, and she pushes her way through them. She's got that little hatchet out, and she's very wary of you.
Arena just has her hands up, like she's like not being scary, and she's also 2'7". She's tiny.
Yeah, but you are associated with Gatton.
For sure.
That's the downside. And you do
I
still,
mean,
you have like
no
a
one.
crossbow.
Hang on a second. She did not see Arena with me, and that halfling that did see her is outside, so she's not associated with me.
Yes, the halfling referenced
She
that,
can make the assumption.
yeah, the halfling
She's-
referenced you had a
it's-
friend that was, and then this person is breaking in, so deduction. But you've also got like a crossbow and a sickle on yourself, so like she's definitely wary.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Look,
I
just-
100% understand her being wary.
Your friends are outside, just leave. Don't want any trouble.
I don't want any trouble either.
Okay, just leave then.
All right. But
And Arena just starts walking past everybody.
Okay.
Slowly. Really
They're-
slowly.
Everyone,
While she's-
all eyes on you.
While she's walking, she's looking to see if anybody looks sus.
You're looking for a moon elf, or you're looking to see if anyone looks sus?
If anyone looks sus.
Insight check.
I've already looked for a moon elf. I didn't see anything. I don't think there's a moon elf in here. 13.
13. It all seems relatively... It's tough because everyone's eyes on you and everyone is reacting to you. Beyond that, nobody looks particularly sus. There's, as I said, the what appeared to be like the slightly better off, like maybe like a low noble or something, and his attendant. There's a couple of like, there's an older man and his friend who've been drinking at the bar who are paying attention. Nobody seems to be overly suspicious in this moment. If anyone was, it's you. You're the bad guy here.
Although people are saying I should have rolled an insight, not a perception, but
Yeah, it should have been insight. If you can, what's your insight
Yeah, I can
bonus?
re-roll.
Keep the roll since we've talked about it. But what's the bonus?
oh, it's
It might
just a
change.
1.
It'll
Usually
be
reroll. So
well, I've already answered the thing for the insight, so it would
okay.
maybe like it would like, oh, if you got lower, oh, I can't tell you the information that you already know. So,
Yeah.
But as you make your way down towards the door, she kind of very carefully steps in front of you, undoes the bar, and like opens the door. Outside, you can see that there is like a halfling covered in like rain, sodden through, shoulders like raised as he's like shivering a little bit.
Me?
John, just get in.
No. Is this the front door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before she opens the door, Arena just says to her,
I wasn't trying to break anything or break in. I will fix the roof. I'm sorry.
You were trying to break in. You literally broke in. I'm not there.
Yeah.
This is Bentham.
I meant to not break in to steal anything. Sorry, that's the words that I was looking for. I'm not trying to steal anything.
She's beyond caring about insight and deception right now. She's just like, I don't want anything to do with any of you.
And then she just leans in and says,
You should be careful. There's someone dangerous here. And it's not me. You've been warned at least.
and Arena will walk out.
Okay. Door closes. There's a chunk.
I'm gonna go repair the fucking shingles,
get
and I will
round
go on the
behind,
roof again
you
unless
see-
someone stops me.
Oh god.
I'm gonna repair the
Karen,
roof.
Cyrus having a conversation next to all the broken tiles. And you see Gatton finishing off Speak with Animals. Gatton, you finish off Speak with Animals just as Arena comes around the corner. The two horses in front of you are tied up. Your horse is like tied up but has no oats or anything given to them yet. But the two horses in front of you look up and like,
Just ask if they've seen anything unusual. Moon elves. I realize they're horses, but I've talked to a lot of horses, so
all right there, mate. Seen anything suspicious? There's a talking tree in front of me right now. Pretty suspicious. There was a little blue thing. That was quick. It was a few hours ago.
which way did it go?
It went all around.
Did you see when it left?
No, because I face inwards into like the horse butt is towards the outside, so I don't have a good view. But it was a few hours ago.
Where did
Kick me
you
in the
come
shin.
from?
Kick me in the shin. On?
Before you were here, where did you come from?
Oh, further back into Keldwyn. My lord's come here for some reason. He pops over occasionally, all his fancy doings and riding around in the rain and the muck. At least John does a good job of keeping my coat clean.
I do. I give them things that other horses would like from my scroungings. You know, roots,
thank you.
Yeah.
Very much appreciated.
Anything you would like to tell me or think I should know before we depart?
You smell of pee.
Well, you're standing in yours, so I suppose that makes us even.
That is very true. Is there anything in particular I can help you with?
Have you seen any moon elves?
Moon elves. What do they
People
look
that
like?
would, and I described the color of the skin, pointy ears. Probably people that might have looked like one thing but smelled like something completely different.
I don't know about that, but there might have been someone you described when we came in about, I don't know, a while back. Would have been yesterday.
Coming or going?
I saw them through the window as we pulled up.
And what did they look like?
Kind of grayish skin, the like white silvery hair that you mentioned.
That would have been them. You saw them yesterday, you say, but you didn't see them go?
Yesterday evening, yes. Didn't see them go. Again, not a really great view where we're moored up in here. Just a bag of oats in front of us. It's good oats.
Were there any other horses that have come and gone in that time?
Yeah, there was a relatively not talkative fella. He smelled good. Wouldn't mind riding that, but yeah, shame.
Did you happen to see which way it went?
Again, sorry. I look inwards. Well, bit of oats.
I understand, friend. One last question. Would you like me to release you here, or are you happy in your master's service?
I've got oats here. I'm quite happy with them, but appreciate the offer nonetheless.
Good. You are an excellent horse.
Thank you very much.
I go back to the others and I say, I think we should depart. Masha
Well,
is
this
either...
has been happening. Perrin has been yelling at Arena. It's like, what in the 9 circles where you think I was in there? We just needed to talk to the innkeep. We could have said we were looking for a fugitive. We could have worked it all. Why did you climb on the roof?
Arena's like picking up the pieces of the roof and trying to, and like casting mending on them. And she's just like,
I was just trying to do. Captain had an idea, and then we were thinking that maybe while you guys weren't there, we could go up and look around to see if they were there. And so I was just looking in the windows, but then they called us, so I got inside, and then I was inside, and I was looking for them, but I didn't see anyone.
How did you get back out?
she's like holding some of the tiles, and she like looks back and forth.
The innkeeper kindly let me leave.
she's just using a tool on this.
Okay, so now we're all banned from this inn, and the person we're looking for may be in there, knowing that we're there and inaccessible to us. So
we were never going to return to this inn. I suggest we depart. Masha is either hiding or fled, and if we go in there, we will end up hurting some presumably innocent people.
I would like to fix the roof.
Or
first.
we could, go in there and just talk to people.
I just pull the sword out and I say, okay.
Stop pulling the sword out at everyone all the time.
What if I could try talking again? We can knock on the door and we can see if we can show them that Arena has fixed the roof, and that maybe a little honesty could go a little way right now.
I think Yeah. Step one, fix the roof. I think perhaps we should leave it a day. We can spend the night watching. We'll park up nearby or something, and we'll keep an eye out if Masha emerges and is trying to sneak away. And then, if that doesn't happen, in the morning we can politely, maybe you and me, go back in and ask nicely, and perhaps with a little bit of greased palms, what they've seen or heard recently.
At this point, you hear someone
horse.
step round the corner, have a look at you, and immediately backpedal and run away, shouting, "Oh shit, they're still here!"
The horse saw someone fitting Masha's description yesterday. Our tiny friend came and flitted in and out the windows, presumably looking for her, and left in a rage. So she's either already departed or does not look like herself.
I would assume does
Right,
not look like
okay.
herself. I didn't
then
see
she-
anyone. I walked very slowly out of the inn, and I did not see anyone.
But she is. We don't actually know whether she's able to change her appearance. I don't think we ever checked that with Vanya. We really should have. But she's keeping her normal appearance, her moon elf appearance, in her dealings. That's a good sign. It means we might be able to track her. And if a horse has seen her, we may be able to get a lot more information about the innkeep if we weren't thrown out of the inn right now.
I'm sorry I sneaked.
You did an excellent job, Arena. It wasn't your fault.
It was a big gap, and then the shingles were already not very well done. See, I've already fixed them. I think that they should replace them anyway. Parents
you-
like so mad.
Well, you
at
get
me.
on that. Just fix the broken tiles, and I don't know if you should be climbing on the roof again, because if they see you again, we're never going to be allowed in this inn or any inn in this region.
Do you want me just to give you the tiles and then they put them back up themselves?
Just repair them and neatly stack them.
Okay.
I don't want you climbing on the roof.
Also, I will point out you are currently camping on the outhouse, so nobody inside the inn.
Gadden has proven the
I go-
extent to which he doesn't care about that.
Yeah, I go over to the cart and I'm like, let's get the thing unhitched and move a little bit down the road.
I give Perrin back the 3 gold.
I take it back. At least they gave us the gold. Could have kept it and slammed the door.
I assure you she couldn't have.
Gatton, you can't just murder people randomly because they annoy you.
It wouldn't have been random if she were robbing us.
I gave her the...
I don't think she was going to rob anybody. She seems like a nice person. I
Yes,
think she was
yes, she
just
does.
very upset with
Just,
me.
you know, trying to live her life running in.
What did you guys do to make her so mad?
I let Gatton speak.
Hey, simply covered for you, my friend.
But all I was doing was trying to find the person who was bad, who's
Well-
probably going to hurt other people.
You were breaking and entering and got spotted by security.
True. That is why I just left. But I did tell her. I whispered and said that there is somebody dangerous inside.
And I, for my part, did not harm anyone or her establishment. For me, this counts as a victory.
I'm just shaking my head as I'm like untying the rope for our horse. and then
dying.
And as you finish, starting to untie the horse, and you get to the last couple of bits, just starting to move it back, there is a blood-curdling scream from inside the inn, and that's where we're going to end for today.
Oh no.
What? I told you somebody was dangerous in there.
Well, you bet Milk of Masha will have been in there, but disguised as something
We
else.
all,
staying in
of
one
course,
the
we all knew someone dangerous was in there. The dice decided we didn't need to know that, though. So, you know,
I don't think the dice was the problem.
the
It
dice were
was.
absolutely 1,000% the problem. We failed every perception check, every persuasion check, 2 good stealths, 1 catastrophically botched one. Yeah, 100% the dice were the problem here.
which is awesome. I love it.
There
I
were
was
some
laughing
dice
so
rolls
hard on
that
the
would have
character.
helped the situation, definitely, but I wouldn't put it all on the dice.
I would put it all on the dice.
No, I wouldn't. I shouldn't. Gan's a
Look,
bad influence on Arena. He's like,
If she had gone in, if she had nailed her stealth, if she'd nailed her search, found some pivotal piece of information and got out seamlessly, everything would have been, oh my god, that was such a great
There's only
plan.
so much to be said for the argument. If only they hadn't spotted that we were breaking into their inn, if everything would have been fine.
And then if
You know,
only we
that would-
hadn't threatened them point blank. Yeah, like.
Again, in
I
a
did not
game
partake
where
in threatening.
rogues are a thing and stealth is a skill, maybe you shouldn't have broken in. It's a pretty hollow argument.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap things up here. We have announcements. I'm gonna read those. Bentham's died. Bentham's dead.
I'm done.
Bentham's gone. It's over. There is no more Bentham. Right. Also, apparently my Roll20 kind of has died. Whoops. There we go. Fixed. Right, okay. Announcements. We have today's supporter Miazilla. Thank you very much for this absolute cart fire. Also, out on Patreon, November recap, Star Wars character sheets. Coming soon, the Ascension guest sheet. So if you want to see some things for guests, and also poor innocent person is just chucked into this cart fire. And also there's a holiday surprise. If you are a Patreon, you can go on there and you can check out the holiday surprise thing. We recommend you do so. Yeah, right. Okay, that's good. Benson's disappearing. So.
Yeah, I'm being Thanos snapped or something. I don't know.
You don't feel so good?
I think it's more like you just so desperately don't want to be in this scene that you've wished yourself partially out of existence.
Gadden is super okay with just kicking in the door and start killing people. So
No.
I'm like, it's fine. I already know what he's gonna do. I'll tell you in the
side
after
are we
show,
on?
y'all.
I don't know anymore.
I'll
well, we
tell you
didn't
in the,
kill
I'll tell you in
anybody,
the
so
after show.
if they're screaming inside, there's definitely something bad happening. It wasn't
I
us.
don't even know what the screaming is. Like,
I know.
I mean, it's not a surprise party. I'll tell you in the
kicking
after
door
show what I'm
down
gonna
and
do next
stabbing
week, y'all.
people will probably just make more screams.
I mean, probably.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
It's
Right.
gonna turn out next
Finley
episode that
said
the
that-
innkeep just stubbed her toe, and then we just barge in and kill everybody for some.
There's a non-zero chance the innkeep
PayPal
is
stuff is
Masha.
not
You
working
all
for
know
some
this,
reason.
right?
Oh, yeah, that's possible. In which case, we're quite screwed.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. Okay. Right. Katie, who are you? What are you doing when we find you?
Hi, I'm Katie Peters Plays. I played Cyrus for you today. I don't know. I want to know what someone's screaming. My reputation has been
Yeah.
tainted a little bit.
I'm actually really excited that Cyrus finally showed a little bit of like another side of her. I'm into it.
I'm excited.
cleric.
I just didn't see any of this happening today, so it was
Yeah.
a lot of fun. You can find me on Twitter at PlayKatiePlay or Twitch at Katie Peters Plays. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next week and seeing what ends up happening.
And like you've got your order symbol visible, so like people are like, yeah, that order that is involved with these nasty people, like it's a bit more of a problem.
You know, would they feel like one had gone rogue or some sellsword had just stolen an order symbol and was masquerading as one of them? It's fine.
Yeah, but also doesn't look good for the order. Either their people get knocked over and people masquerade as them all the time, in which case the trust in them goes down, or that they have one of their people go rogue. Also, the trust in them goes down. Doesn't look good for them. Perrin, Bentham, who are you?
And Bentham, I have a YouTube channel and also Twitch channel, which unfortunately are called Mangled Pork and Mangled Pork Gaming. Not in that order, the opposite order, in fact. Where sometimes I do things, sometimes I don't. This is one of the times where I don't. We'll see how it goes. I'm also on the Sunday show.
Okay.
That's me.
It's getting your C, Dave. What about you?
Peter Walter, say words about things. Running a game tomorrow for World Builders with Mr. Taliesin Jaffe, Brendan Lee Mulligan, Brie Iyengar, Anna Proser, Patrick Rothfuss, and Sage Ryan. Noon PST. Come watch, and we're gonna raise some money and try and help some people.
Speaking of helping people, Arena Cogdia, Margaret Crone, who are you?
I was not helping people today because my roll was bad. One roll could just take you downhill so fast.
I mean, your
So I'm
rolls
not
were
even mad at
generally
you.
quite good, at least. Like, you got really far.
But the one that got us caught was the slipping, which was a natty one, so I'm cool with it. It makes 100%. I love it. Anyways, I'm Margaret Crone. You can find me at Margaret Crone in all of the places. I'm going to be streaming some Cyberpunk 2077 right after this if you're interested in checking that out. And I am also on our Sunday show as well, playing good old Star Wars. So if you're interested in that, come check it out. We also have a show on Thursdays, of course you're watching, Saturdays. So come tune into that. And I also make video games for a living. So if you'd like to check out the game that I currently work on, it is called Ashes of Creation. And you can check it out in all of the places. Ashes of Creation. And of course, Enter Elysium. What are you doing when you're not playing an angry innkeeper?
I'm playing a scared, shitless stable hand. Elysium. YouTube.com. No, link.ee/Enter Elysium. There you go. Gets to all the places. And I'm currently doing a RP focused run in Aurora 4X, which is a really horribly complex but amazingly in-depth space strategy game where I've set up like this whole like role-playing government thing, and people are getting elected and then influencing policy about how we do things. And it's interesting. We just had our first election. Episode 2 came out on YouTube, so it's pretty fun. Right. That said, there were, I'm going to say no tips for today, although Finley did try and tip. We appreciate that very much, Finley, even if you didn't manage to do it.
Yeah, sorry, PayPal's being a butt. Thank you, though, Finley.
Speaking of butt, my takeaway that I actually ordered 6 hours ago, still not here. This is a different takeaway because I was desperate for food, having not eaten. That's annoying. Right, okay, thank you
maybe
much.
PayPal and Deliveroo have gone
it's not
down for
PayPal.
similar reasons or something.
Nah. Because
Well, and then the guy who was delivering your food just now took like a really weird route.
That's just also he was on a bike, but he wasn't on a bike. He was in a car. That's just normal. That's normal.
Was he on a bike? Was it in a car on the bike paths?
I mean, it was a smart car. It could have probably fit that. Right. Anyway, we're going to do an after show. Thank you very much for watching. We're back next week with the last one before the Christmas break, and then also the last one with Katie, which is sad because she's going to go away having her character's reputation horribly abused.
She might just get
some efforts to repair it.
She might just get killed. It's fine.
That's true.
That's true.
also
That
an
would be a
option.
better death.
No.
Anyway.
I believe in you, Cyrus. We're gonna get through this.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll survive.
We're gonna go
Will we?
do an after show. Thank you for watching, and